What's up, Ray? If you can hear me, let me know. Can you hear me? You guys can hear me loud and clear on here. Let me know. Let me know. Shout out to my people that's going to be joining us on YouTube as well. For all my people that's going to be coming to YouTube tonight, make sure you guys go ahead, click that notification bell. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you go ahead and share out the broadcast, like, leave a comment, all that other good stuff. Make sure you definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the notification bell. Also, make sure you guys visit newstoter.com to stay up to date on breaking Black news in Black America. Once again, visit newstoter.com to stay up to date on breaking Black news in Black America. Remember, Newstoter is the largest Black-owned Black American news media curation platform today in America. Ray, if you guys can hear me, Rebel, you guys can hear me, give me a thumb up. Let me just make sure that the actual audio in the space is actually good. If you guys can hear me, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know that I'm coming in loud and clear for you guys. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what's up. Let me know, hey, we good. So I ain't see no thumbs up. So I'm hoping that the actual audio in the space is actually good. Ray, no thumbs up. Rebel, no thumbs up. Okay, I'm assuming that our people on YouTube, excuse me, on Be Nice. I see you can hear me fine on YouTube. I was just making sure the people on Twitter can actually hear me loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout out to my people starting to slide in over there on YouTube as well, too, guys. A nice podcast / space. We want to talk about culture vultures in the social media realm, the YouTube realm, all the other realm as well. Talking about you know, talking about black business, talking about black this, black that, using black issues to go ahead and to increase their platform, to increase their reach, starting off branching with black people and then kind of taking it elsewhere. And we got a couple people tonight that we're going to be discussing. We're going to be talking about DJ Vlad, and we're going to be talking about Pearly Things as well too. We know both of them have pretty big platforms, and both of them have definitely profited and come off of the black community as well too. So that's going to be our topic for the night. I'm assuming our people can can hear us good on the Twitter space. You know, I'm hoping they can hear us good on the Twitter space, but we're gonna get ready to go in. We're gonna give them a few more minutes. Our people have been kind of slow to come in tonight and whatnot. So hopefully when everybody starts to come up in here, we can get this thing really, really rolling. I'm definitely interested to hear about it, man. And definitely for you guys over there in YouTube land, definitely leave some comments. Twizzle, if you can hear me in the space, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me or whatever, because I'm wondering how the audio is. If you can hear me straight, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. I know, Be Nice. I know you guys on YouTube can hear me, but I want the people in Twitter to let me know if they can hear me okay. That's what I'm trying to see. If they can hear me, if the audio and everything is all right in there. Let me go ahead. I may have to open it back up and close it, and let me see if I can get. I want to make sure that the actual audio and everything up in the actual space is good. You know, I know you guys can hear me loud and clear over there, and in actual you in YouTube land. DJ, I'm gonna give you the actual co-host. I want to see if you can hear me as well too. I'm wondering if some of our people may be having some issues with the audio or whatever. So, I just want to make sure everybody can hear me fine and clear. DJ, if you get a chance, go ahead and accept that and let me know how is everything coming in with the audio. Andre, can you hear me? Can you hear me? DJ, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Mic check one going through. You know this thing is slow. I'm working out on the Wi-Fi, but I couldn't hear you when I first came in the room, though.
Okay, Andre, can you hear me good? FBA, can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me good up in the actual space. I see some of our people coming in. If you guys can hear, if the audio is fine, and I'm just talking about for the people on Twitter, YouTube. I know you guys hear me loud and clear, but for the guy, everybody that's coming in Twitter, if you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If it sounds like the audio is fine up in here, y'all give me a hands up, thumbs up. Let me know that everything is good, guys. Karen, Andre, like with fan. If you guys can hear me, just give me a fist up, thumbs up, or whatever. I just want to make sure that the actual reception Okay, Karen gave me the thumbs down, so I don't. Okay, thumbs up. Okay, just checking to make sure everything is good, man. What's going on, people? What's going on, Doris? What's up with you? Be nice. What's up with you over there on YouTube as well too? We're gonna be talking about a couple culture vultures. I had put the young dude, Kai Sinet up in there, but I'm like, well, he's kind of young black dude. I'm gonna go ahead and we're not gonna dig up on him tonight, but I do want to talk about Pearly Things. Pearly Things is kind of, you know borrowed and taken some stuff from Kevin Samuels, and she's kind of went with the white supremacy route of putting a bunch of good old boys in there and digging in and this and that. I saw her talking about 304s one time. She was mentioning women and calling them 304s and stuff. And I'm like, this is not even your slang. This is not even how y'all talking. Now you speaking about 304s and this and that or whatever. So she's using a lot of black vernacular, black slang and stuff. She has these people in her RAM and her spaces and stuff like that. And O'Shea Duke Jackson and Jason Black, they were going in on her months ago. Of course, we know DJ Vlad. Vlad, I really don't understand the whole situation with Vlad, because you could get a bunch of black people to come in and they will spill their guts of Vlad. They will tell them the day they was born, the first piece of candy they stole from the store. They would just go ahead, and it's like Vlad is almost like some kind of, like he's a priest or whatever. They just confessing all their sins to DJ Vlad, knowing damn well this dude's got some connections with the feds or whoever else. They sit up there and they tell Vlad every single solitary thing. And no matter how many times people been pinched, been arrested, careers have been ruined, they still come back. It's like, is Vlad the only show in town? I know you got the Art of Dialogue, you got other black podcasters and stuff like that. If you want to go ahead and you want to talk about your career and this and that or whatever, but for whatever reason, I don't know if Vlad is cutting a check, he's giving money or whatever. People will come up on there and they will tell you exactly the crime, the time, the date. They'll stamp it, everything else. They'll send a paper trail, letting you know where to go at. And Vlad just sits up there, and it's like he's almost like a detective. The way he frames question after question, he keeps asking them, and they sit up there and they just keep spilling their guts to this dude. Constantly keep spilling their guts. I know people say, is Vlad married to a black woman? Is Vlad, to y'all knowledge, is he married to a black woman? I heard people say that. I don't know if that's true or not, that he has a black wife. I don't know. And a lot of times black folks, they hear that a white person is married to a black woman, so especially a white man. If a white man is married to a black woman, oh my God, like everything in the world is right. The moon is balanced and everything else. If a white man marries a black woman, he's cool, he's real, he's about that life. He's okay. He understands the struggle and this and that, whatever. He can't be racist. He can't be prejudiced. All this stuff. Like, don't let a white man be married to a black woman. Like, I mean, you will see black people tap dancing in a minute. Oh yeah, he's okay. He understands. Yeah, he's got a black wife. He got a black wife. I was like, okay, and what that mean that he's got a black wife? That means that he's cool. Ray, I see you up in the space. Ray, how's the audio? Can you hear me straight up in here? If you can, give me a thumbs up, because I know you was up in here, but you kind of, and I know some of y'all might be having some phone issues as well too. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know if there's any issues with the space. Andre says he can't hear. Okay, he said I had to leave and come back. He says, now I can't hear you, so I don't know. I'm gonna see what's going on, guys, with the space. We got Trouble coming up in here. Let me see what's up. Trouble, can you hear? And Trouble done dip too. DJ, what I may do is go ahead and close it real quick and then open it back up while it's on and see if that may make a difference. Because I see people coming in and out, popping in and out. So let me see real quick.
Right, for sure.
Let me see, guys, because I have no idea what's up with this. What's up with the actual the audio in these spaces? We don't control it. This is Twitter. Trouble said it kicked her out. Let me see. Okay. Trouble, I saw Trouble. You said it kicked you up out the space, Trouble. So let's see. Hopefully, DJ, can you hear me? Hey, DJ, can you hear me? Oh boy. Let me see. I don't know what's up with the space tonight, y'all. Let me try it again. Let me try, because everybody seems to be coming in and out, having issues.
Big dog. So at the end of the day, I don't know if y'all you back, bro?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm trying to see if everybody can hear me because I see like people popping in, popping out, like they in, they out. Trouble, can you hear okay? Ray, can you hear okay? Because I see like everybody be in the space, and the next thing you know, like everybody's like disappearing, like it's the rapture or something. So I'm trying to see if everybody okay. Ray's giving me the thumbs up. What about you, Trouble? Okay, 504, everybody. Everything seems to be back on pace now, guys. So you know how these Twitter spaces be. Shout out to all you guys coming in here. Make sure y'all tweet the space out. Shout out to my people on YouTube. And yeah, I'm just, and DJ, I lost you for a second because I was trying to go ahead and get the thing clear. But what was you speaking on? I don't want to go ahead. I'm going to let you go ahead and
just advertising, that's all.
Oh, okay. Now you coming in really loud and clear, like really loud. And Trouble, she got popped out again. So Trouble may be having some issues, man. I don't know. Like
janky phone situation, girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Trouble, she having some issues up in here. It kicked me out. She says, okay. So far, Joe says, I can hear you, but it keeps kicking me out. Trouble, if you can hear, try to, I don't know if did they put in any new did the new update come or not, guys? Y'all may have to update the phones or whatever. Trouble, I don't know. Make sure your phone is updated. That's the only thing I can think right now. But yeah, getting back to DJ Vlad.
Close all apps. Just leave Twitter open. Close all apps. But go ahead.
Yeah. Your profile pic is Pearly Face, smiling green, smiling. That's Pearly Face we put up there for the. She ain't my profile pic, but that's the profile pic for the actual podcast. But yeah, we put her up there. We put DJ Vlad. He's also up there as well too, because we're talking about Pearly Face and we're talking about DJ Vlad tonight. And we're talking about the culture vultures that seem to leech off of Black culture. Nobody really does it better in terms of being a YouTube podcaster. Nobody does it better than DJ Vlad. I mean, I just got to go ahead and say that DJ Vlad, he has made a career out of it. He's, everybody, and it doesn't matter if you're a current artist or you're a past artist. Like you see Black people that were big time stars in the 70s, 80s. It doesn't matter if you're a movie star, you're an actor, you're a rapper, you're a singer. Like everybody seems like they have to come to Vlad. And Vlad, he knows how to get the juice out of them. He knows how to get them to tell like their deepest, darkest secrets. If they were a drug addict, if they were a criminal, if they was a deadbeat daddy, like he knows how to actually get all of this stuff up out of them. And like these Black folks, like they don't hesitate to tell this dude everything. And I'm like, damn, don't y'all got some other Black podcasters that y'all can go to or whatever? Trouble, I'm trying to bring you up too, so I don't know what it is, sweetie. I'm trying to get you up here. Okay. Damn. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's something up with this space tonight, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and see real quick. DJ, let me see if I can get Ray up here. DJ, can you hear me? I don't know. I think DJ, it's something with the space, guys. Ray, can you? Yikes. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna try to all in one this phone while we on here because I don't know what it is. Everybody, like I'm saying, everybody just disappearing. They hear 1 second and next second they gone. Like they hear they gone. They hear they gone. So I'm gonna see what's up. We're gonna try to get it straight while we can. A lot of people they coming into space and they disappearing. Like I don't know what it is with these Twitter spaces sometimes. DJ, can you hear me? Because we having some serious auto issues over here on Twitter tonight, guys. Yeah, we're having some serious issues on Twitter tonight. So it's one of those nights, apparently. It is one of those nights. I'm trying to right now, guys, for all my people on YouTube, I'm trying to get this thing straightened out and trying to see exactly what's what. But we're having some major issues here. So hopefully we can get everything straight. Everybody, like, it's knocking everybody up out of here. Hey, can y'all hear me? Okay, can you hear me, DJ? I know everybody keep talking about the audio on Twitter and the sounds and yeesh, I don't know what it is tonight. Can y'all hear me? I know.
Yo, yeah, you there, bro?
Yeah, it's something. I've just all in one, and I've cleared the cache. I've closed it out, so I'm hoping that this is and everybody on YouTube is like, I know Dre says I can hear you just fine on YouTube, but not on Twitter. Volume keeps dropping, so I don't know, guys, exactly. And then I just keep seeing everybody raising here. The next thing I know, he's dropping. Trouble, she's in here second, then she drops out. It's just everybody's having an issue. It's the issue that's just killing the actual podcast. Like, can you still hear me, DJ? All right. This is what I'm gonna do. All right. This is what I'm gonna
No, my bad. Yeah. I just muted my mic right. I hear you.
Okay. Trouble, can you hear? Let me send Trouble the invite and see if I can get her up here and send Ray the invite as well too. Because this is just, everybody's trying to come up here and you see faces in the actual space and they keep dropping out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and just start another damn space. Because it doesn't seem to be clearing up. Let's see. Ray, Trouble, can y'all hear me? Yeah. I'm thinking, DJ, that's what I may need to do is just start another space. Yeah, because it doesn't seem like it's clearing up anything. Everybody constantly is dropping,
You can leave YouTube running up.
I'm gonna leave the YouTube running, but I'm just saying the actual here on Twitter. I'm thinking about just going ahead and just starting another space, guys. What we're gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start another space. I'm gonna come right back. We're gonna start another space. I'll be right back. My folks on YouTube will stay there. We're gonna be right back, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this space, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start a new one up because it's just been jacked up tonight. Like, I don't, people trying to come in, but it has just been jacked up. I don't know what the hell is going on, but we about to start this thing up and we're gonna get it rolling. Get it rolling the right way, y'all. Okay. I know Ray saying Twitter Twitter's wilding, man. Twitter, I'm wondering if Twitter don't be doing this stuff on purpose here. But yeah, guys, we about to go ahead and start this thing back up here. What's up, Ray? Can you hear me? If you can, go ahead and request a microphone. This thing is messing up the vibe tonight. I know that much. It is messing up the vibe. So let's go ahead and get everything started, guys. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get back on this DJ Vlad thing as well, too, because like I say, and I'm loving what you guys are saying over there. Chuck D, you saying you can hear good on YouTube, but not Twitter. I don't know what the hell is up with Twitter. I don't know. Ray, can you hear me? Like with fan, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? I'm not here. I'm not seeing my people saying anything on Twitter. Ray, can you hear me? Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Hey, Ray, can you hear me? Like with fan, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? I got a feeling this is going to be janky tonight, guys. So 504, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? It's the same crap going on, man. What the hell is going on tonight here? Guys, we are working on the technical issues. I hate it because our people, they showing up supporting as well. So that's always a big plus. So we're trying to get this thing straight. I have no idea what's up with Twitter tonight. No understanding what's going on. I know this is something that our people want to chime in, and you guys over there on YouTube, put some questions in the comment section over there as well too. We'll get to them. So definitely put some comments in the question section. 504, can you hear me? Yeah, we've been tonight. I have no idea what in the world is going on. I have absolutely no idea because we're trying to get into the conversation, but our people apparently they cannot hear anything going on Twitter over there. Everybody's coming in and out the space. They popping in. They there 1 second. Next second they're out. So I have no idea what's up tonight. We've had some janky spaces before, but this one here is definitely janky. Ray, can you hear me? FBA, can you hear me? Likewood fan, can you hear me? Can any of you guys hear me? Can any of you guys hear me? What I'm gonna do again, I'm gonna close this off. I'm gonna start a whole nother space again. Trouble, can you hear me? Trouble, can you hear me? Okay. What we're gonna do is end this. Let's end this space. Let me go ahead and we're gonna go ahead, guys. We're gonna have a temporary delay. I'm gonna start a whole nother space up. I'm restarting everything up, recharging the phone, everything. I have no idea what's going on tonight. I do apologize. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start a whole nother space up. Get all of this going because I don't know what's up with the actual what's up over there on Twitter tonight. Twitter, the people cannot hear, the people are disappearing in the space. 1 minute they're in the space, the next minute, like I say, it's like the rapture. People there, their heads pop up and they gone. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get this thing resolved. I see DJ, you say I'm back on the road, so I'll be gone for a minute. Okay. Do what you got to do, man. We understand. We understand. I want to go ahead and get our people in here because I want to go ahead and discuss this topic for the night. So for 30 minutes, we've been up here just wilding out here. So for 30 minutes, we've been wilding on this space here. Let's see if we can get this thing finally rolling, guys. And I do apologize for the inconvenience. I'll give you guys a shout out. Thank you for supporting Newstoter as always, guys. I definitely appreciate that. I do apologize when we do these stream yards and we're streaming it from Twitter onto YouTube. It's not always the easiest thing when Twitter's acting up, and tonight Twitter is definitely acting up. So it's one of those things that we're trying to get everything straight. So give just a second. We'll go ahead and we'll be back on. Get this thing rolling. Get the show, program, broadcast, get it back to smooth sailing like it normally is. And then everybody can chime in. And like I said, you guys, a lot of you guys like Crappy Slappy, you have some good comments you putting up there talking about Vlad and stuff like that. And like I said, I definitely want you guys on YouTube to definitely put in your comments so we can go ahead and touch up on those as well too. So just give me 1 second. I want to discuss DJ Vlad. I want to discuss this chick Pearly what's her name? Pearly Davis, Pearly Things, whatever. Pearly. I want to discuss Pearly tonight because Pearly, I don't know why. Like, why are people like she homely looking thing too? Like, people love her. I don't know why the hell y'all love her. homely, just a homely looking little thing. I don't know which trailer park she came from, but she certainly can go back. People love her. So let's go ahead, y'all, and get this thing started back. Let's get it started back, y'all. Let's see what's up. What's up? This X thing has just been a nightmare since Elon Musk took over. So let's go back. We're going to go ahead and get everything rolling again. And get back on these culture vultures and the fact that we support them, because we most certainly support them. Why we support them, I have no idea. You think these rappers would have been to learn their lesson by now? All right, all righty. It appears we're trying to set the space up, guys. All right. We'll see how things play out this time, guys. We got this space back up and running. We'll see when the people come up in here. Until they come back up in here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start talking about this thing with what DJ Vlad and Pearly Things. Pearly Things. Like what fan? Can you hear me up in the space? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I have no idea what's up tonight. Let me see if DJ can hear me. DJ, let me know if you can hear in the space or whatever. It's funny. Some minute people can hear, and the next minute they can't hear. So it just Twitter is the crapper for real. Trouble. Can you hear me? I'm trying to see if Trouble can hear me. We're in the space, and the topic is DJ Vlad, Pearly Things. But like I said, we have been having some major audio issues. Trouble, can you hear? Ray, can you hear me? Nobody can still hear. Unbelievable tonight. Trouble, you can't hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, Jesus. I don't know what's up with this thing tonight. Okay, I'm glad you can hear me. Maybe some other people. Like what fan can you hear? Okay, let's see. I see DJ in the background. It's still having some audio issues. I can tell you guys this ain't gonna be a long podcast because this thing, I don't know. I can see DJ accepting the co-host thing. He's not even in the space, so I don't know what the hell's going on there. But okay.
I'm here. You can hear me?
I don't even see you.
Oh shit.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna close out for a second, then I'm gonna come back. I don't even see you up in here. Okay, now I see you, DJ. Can you hear me? Trouble, can you hear me? DJ, can you hear me? Yikes.
Like Professor was saying, this thing is shitty, man. We gotta get off this thing.
Okay. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I updated the app and then restarted my phone, and it still kicked me out of the space. But but since you started this new space, it seemed to be working.
Thank goodness. I done restarted the space 3-4 times here. So good Lord. Like, I don't know. Like, yikes. I was about to go ahead and give up. I see real quick, Chuck D on YouTube says Ari Spears recently in the interview had to check and correct Vlad several times on comments he was making. Like, yeah, they just sit up there and they just let this dude sit up here with his. Doesn't Vlad have some kind of background with the popos or something like that? I know people used to say that or whatever, but it's just too much of a coincidence. Like, as soon as people come on his platform, people getting popped, they getting arrested, they getting tried and this and that or whatever. Why do black people constantly sit up here? And it's something like Jason Black said, if you want a black person to tell the truth, just have a white person ask him a question. Just have a white person sit up here and ask him a question. And these Negroes will go up here and they will spill their guts and tell any and everything like that. They're the only group of people that sit up here and tell this. Vlad, somebody find out if Vlad has a black wife too, because I know how black folks are. Like, and I said that earlier, when they find out that you got like if a white dude has a black woman, oh my goodness, like he is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Greatest. He doesn't. I was looking for his information, and it said that really what they've been saying online is that they don't have a whole lot of information on DJ Vlad. He was dating one person recently, but they don't have any information on that. But from everything that I've pulled up, he's not married, let alone to a black woman. But who knows what he's doing on his off time? It's very suspicious. I think isn't that Vlad a Russian or whatever? But it's on us at this point that our people keep going on his show and pretty much telling on themselves, and I don't care how much money he's giving them. At some point in time, you gotta sit back and see what's happening with everybody else and think to yourself, yeah, I'm not getting ready to, snitch on myself.
I mean, how much money could he really be giving them? Because I know, it looks like and Vlad, to my knowledge, and like you say, Trouble, he is Russian. So to my knowledge, every time I see, the people that are in the studio with him or whatever, this and that or whatever. So I'm assuming that, okay, if he pays them, how much could he really pay them? I mean, he can't be just breaking bread with them like that. A lot of times, he may, I don't know if you have to fly guests out or whatever, however you do or whatever, but how much money is this dude really, really paying people? A few weeks ago when Keefe D got popped, guess who they had on the CBS News? I was watching that. And sure enough, it was Vlad on there. And Vlad was like, well, the feds, the police, they tried to get me to tell on him or something, basically paraphrasing what he said. He's like, I didn't say anything or whatever. But that in itself is telling. Now, and of course, Keefe D did himself no favors. He went to any platform that would put a mic in front of him and just spilled his beans or whatever. But the fact of the matter that the cops, they coming to Vlad and they trying to find out, like, you don't have to go to Vlad because, like you say, Trevor, they putting everything on the actual, everything can be heard on the actual damn video. Like, you don't even have to go to Vlad. All you gotta do is go to his YouTube channel, which, let's be honest, they're sitting right there listening right on his YouTube channel. Like, oh, who's he gonna have on this time? Oh, okay, he finna have this rap on there. Well, let's see what crimes this rapper confessed to right here. got in trouble. Go ahead. And guys, we back on YouTube. Thank you guys. Our people hung out with us on YouTube. They was patient. So thank all the family on YouTube, guys. Definitely appreciate it. I know we was having some issues here. Had to restart this space about 4 times. I had to shut it down and start it back up. So shout out to my people that's coming up in here as well too. Original, So 504, Andre, Karen, all you guys was up in here. Like with fan, you guys was up in here. Y'all kept having issues and y'all came back. So shout out to you guys as well too. Thank you for supporting tonight. I know it hasn't been the best with the technical issues we have, but thank you guys for sticking it out with us. Ray, I see you back up in here as well too. Tonight we talking about DJ Vlad, and we talking about this crazy looking chick named Pearly Things, who sitting up here with the little black slang. She'll go in there and she'll talk about women, this and that or whatever. She'll try to play it off. She'll talk about feminists and she'll talk about, women being married and this and that or whatever. But this heifer had a poll out a couple of weeks ago too, maybe about a week ago. And in her poll, she had who was the most racist group. Of course, she had black, white, Asians, whoever else. And no surprise with her listeners and her viewers and her people, who they picked as number one. 50% of the people claim that black people were the most racist group. And I know she likes to play the babe in the woods type routine. Oh my God, I didn't even know that they would say that. But yeah, that's just from her or whatever. So, she works with a lot of brothers overseas and black people overseas and stuff like that, because a lot of the ones over here in the grassroots, they were digging in her. O'Shea Duke Jackson was digging in her, to my knowledge. I know the Black Authority, he was getting in on her. He did a few videos on her. So I don't see why, again, like I say, she sits up here and she's talking about this 304. She's taking the slang, the vernacular, this and that or whatever. She's even stealing some of Kevin Samuel's slang or whatever, not to bring Kevin Samuels into it, but she's trying to go ahead and shoehorn on that territory that he had as well too. So Trouble, go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, I was just going to read. You had pretty much already said what I was going to say about Vlad as far as him giving up that information. They don't have to ask Vlad, if the people told him anything extra, because it's being recorded. And so all they have to do is basically pull his interviews off of his channel to get all of the information that they need. But Vlad, if he's a Russian, and so I don't know, they never disclose, if they've gotten a bag or how much the bag is. But when you look at how much money has been being played in United States politics when it comes to these Russian oligarchs, I can imagine that he has somebody that's behind him that's giving him good bags to be able to, help his platform out as far as getting these Negroes on here to basically tell on themselves and, circumvent their own jail sentence. They're doing it themselves because they're willing to come on there and run their mouth. And he always gets the ones that are willing to just run their mouth because of the era that we're in, where it comes to getting this clout and street and looking like you're harder than what you are. Yeah, I'm hard, I'm tough, I'm rough, and I did it. I was young once, and I didn't want people to think I was a punk, and I went out of my way to do a lot of blustering and stuff. So, but, we're in a different era now where you guys are willing to go to jail behind not wanting to be viewed as a punk, wanting to be seen extra hard. And you're going on this white man who is literally a white man's show to make yourself look a particular way. Like, you can't stand on your music. Your music doesn't speak for itself. You got to make yourself look harder by going on a DJ Vlad. So at some point in time, we got to put the onus of our demise in certain aspects on ourselves and stop going. As far as Pearly Things, because I don't call it things, Pearly Things is concerned, of course, white folks would say that Black Americans or Black folks are the most racist group. We are one of the most honest groups. When it comes to, if you ask us about something, see, we not like white folks. We don't sweep it under the rug. We don't sugarcoat it. We tell it like it TITZ is, And so if you ask us about something, we're gonna tell you straight up, and we don't do a whole lot of dog whistling in our culture. Whereas white folks will use all kind of cute cute words and dog whistles to call you the N-word, whereas we will straight out call you a cracker. You know, we have no problems with calling you the name of choice that we choose to use when addressing you in your situation or how we feel about something. So if telling the truth and being honest about our truth means we're being racist, I mean, you're making up a whole new definition for what racism is supposed to be. But okay, because that's what they've been doing for a long time now. You know, they want to change the definition on what it means to be racist, what it means to be prejudiced. And I don't think that we're the most prejudiced group or racist group. I think we're just the most honest group. You know, so really they need to get their definitions together on what these words means, because they're twisting it, in my opinion.
Real talk, Trouble. Let me go ahead and I see R. Bailey. Shout out to you over there on YouTube. R. Bailey says, I can't believe she is back after being blacklisted. No pun intended. She is a white supremacist, and any black people who go on her channel is complicit. I'm gonna say this right here too about DJ Vlad. It's interesting that DJ Vlad, and I think I called some Tariq. She's one of his broadcasts, and he was talking about Vlad as well too, because you know he had the issue with Tommy Sotomayor that time, and they, you know, Tariq ended up pulling up on him, and you know Vlad had to go ahead and, you know, they had to have people pretty much separate them and stuff like that or whatever. But he made an interesting point that I agree with, that, you know, Vlad, it's like if me and Ray are beefing, you know, me and Ray, we beefing. Everybody knows we don't like each other. We putting out songs, we dissing each other. We can't stand each other. So he'll bring me on there one week, and he'll ask me questions, and you know, he'll try to pick at the scab and get me to go in on Ray or whatever, and say what my beef is, what my problem with Ray is or whatever. And maybe about a month or so later, he'll bring Ray on there. He's like, yo, I had a Newstoter on here, and he was talking about you. And you know, I know he'll start off first casual, like, yeah, what's going on with the beef that you and Newstoter got? And he'll start, you know, like anybody trying to dig into it, he'll go and ask these questions. He's like, yeah, and then he'll play the clip. He's like, yeah, well, I asked him about the so-called beef that you guys got, and here's a clip from the show he was on. And he'll go there and this and that. So now you got guys that's already into it, that's already beefing, and all he's doing is throwing fuel to the fire. He's adding gasoline, kerosene. He's adding every kind of flammable imagine. So when these guys see each other out there on the streets or at these war shows, at a club or wherever, they already don't like each other. They already have beef. They already have static, you know. And he's sitting up here the same way that so many of his people have done throughout history, you know, being the instigator, being the middleman or whatever, you know, for ratings, for money, for whatever. And when these two people get into it, then all of a sudden he's like, oh, hey, I had them on the channel. You know, I didn't know it was going to get to that point. You know, I definitely didn't know it was going to get to the point. And yeah, you kind of did know it was going to get to the point. That's why you made sure that you went and got one person. Then you came back and got another person to ask about the same thing, because you already knew these people were beefing. You already knew that it was already static between them. So you want to know how you can actually go ahead and use that to continue to elevate your platform while at the same time creating more division. And you're right, Trouble. It's up to us. Like, you can't constantly go on this dude's platform, you know, because he's ingrained himself inside of hip hop culture. That's where Vlad makes his bones from. Yeah, he has Shaka Khan, and he has Faison Love. He has comedians. He has different personalities and everything else on it, but it was hip hop. That's why he calls himself DJ Vlad. It's hip hop, it's music, how he made his bones, how he got his notoriety, whatever. From what he said, I believe he said he was a DJ at one time or another. So it's through, once again, as a title of this room, this podcast says, culture vultures. You know, he ingratiated himself inside of the black culture. And now that he's in there, you kind of see what these culture vultures, like the kind of danger of having them up in here. You see what a Fat Joe can do. You see what a DJ Vlad can do. You see what a Pearly Things can do as well too. And while they're doing it, they want to play. Oh, they want to play like they have the dunce cap on in the back of the room. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Meanwhile, they're steady poking people, poking the bear, but they don't know what you're talking about. They're not trying to do anything. They're just trying to make a living. They're not causing any beef or any drama or whatever. They're just sitting up here just, just reporting news or entertainment or whatever. None of this has anything to do with them whatsoever. It's like they say the old expression, throwing a rock and hiding your hand. Constantly, this cat is constantly doing this. And the Pearly thing, she has this dumb look on her face. Like I say, she's into the point now. Now she wants to talk about freedom of speech and this and that or whatever. But at the same time, when people, make podcasts or videos about her and they go and they play some of her stuff back, she's getting their channel strike now. She's striking people's channel down because, hey, she's this big proponent of the First Amendment. She's a big proponent of freedom of speech. Only when that freedom of speech is not about her. When somebody's talking about her, that's an issue. When she's talking about them, then, hey, I should be able to say what I want to say and this and that or whatever. So, I think I forgot who it was. You had a couple of guys, black guys, that end up striking her channel down. And she was on the broadcast. She was pouting and she was upset about it. And she was talking about we were going to get ready to take legal action and this and that. Now you ready to take legal action to go ahead because they made you take the video down or whatever. You didn't want your channel struck, but you'll strike other people's channel. Just like the Fresh and Fit cats. They were striking people's channels down. Anybody that was saying something about them, they would go ahead and they would strike their channels down. So a lot of these people, especially these YouTubers and stuff like that have a certain feeling about black people, they'll use black people, they'll profit off them. And she had people that she was trying to get under contract, from my understanding, and this and that. They'll use these black people, to a certain degree. Now, when these people start going ahead and fighting back a little bit, or actually taking clips and doing this and doing videos that they consider slanderous, then it's an issue. Then it's a problem. And like I said, I don't understand. You have so many black platforms on now that I don't think you need to go to DJ Vlad. Like, this is the thing that we're constantly talking about, empowerment and enriching ourselves and stuff like that. Yo, there are 100 people on YouTube doing what DJ Vlad doing. Like I say, the Art of Dialogue dude, he's doing what DJ Vlad does. And I know he does it from his channel seems to be more centered on Tupac and stuff, but he still have other people on there as well too. It's still an entertainment base, it's still all of that. So why not go and give him some shine, give him some spotlight? If you don't want to do him, there's hundreds of other people out there as well too, but to constantly go back to DJ Vlad, it's like, yo, we in 2023 going into 2024, and we have no other options. Like, we're still stuck. This is not the pre-cable era where we only have three channels to look at. It's not like we only can watch NBC, CBS, and ABC. We have all kind of alternatives to look at, but yet our people insist on still going by the same old thing. Yo, leave Vlad alone. Leave Pearly Things alone. And like Bailey said, our Bailey said on YouTube, any black person especially, going into that channel over there with that woman, they're just as big a hole as she is. If you sitting up here and this woman she's had Nick Fuentes and she's had all these other white supremacists on there and everything else, people that have all this deep down hatred of black people. She sits up there and she plays like she doesn't know what's going on with this silly look on her face and stuff like that. Hey, please, if you're going along with that crap, if you're going on her channel, if you're even looking at her videos like that, other than maybe to go ahead and make some kind of opposing view or something like that, you're right along with her. And I just don't understand the thing with DJ Vlad. I just don't understand how much longer Vlad and I know somebody said this on YouTube. They tell me that they think that, like you said, Trouble, they think that maybe he may be getting funneled in with some dough or something like that. That's why he can afford to pay people certain things or whatever. But I don't understand the thing with DJ Vlad at all. I don't understand that whatsoever. You got it, Trouble. Go ahead.
Because we're dealing with a new generation of young rappers that really don't understand his history. They don't understand our history, and a lot of them probably aren't us. And those of us who are us that still go on the show, they still really don't understand historical events and anything of importance outside of that rap world. DJ Vlad provides a platform because he's a popular YouTuber. His name carries a little bit of weight in that world, and so they can be seen. And so it's about being seen in this era we're in right now. And so you want to be seen on the most popular platforms. That was like, I was listening to a video that the black guy from Comedy Central, I forgot his name. He's a comedian. I'm not sure he does it anymore, but you know who I'm talking about. The light complexion brother. I think he's African or whatnot. But he was saying that when he first started on Comedy Central, he couldn't really get a lot of big names to come on his show because nobody knew who he was. But he was glad that Kevin Hart had, he credits Kevin Hart with providing him with, you know, the platform he eventually came to have, because he was one of the first big names to come on his show. And then everyone else seen that and started wanting to come. You know, it's like the slow-moving train. Nobody wants to be on the slow-moving train, and they don't know which direction you're going on. And so they want to be on the train that's already moving and already being seen. And so that's the era right now. There's another, and I think that's why a lot of people are going on his show. But there's another little young white girl that, and I think her name is Bobby something. And she's interviewing people where she's acting nonchalant.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The crazy looking one. Yeah, like the people will be up there stripping and she just sitting there like she been sedated or something like that. Yeah, I've seen her.
And so why are we making these you know, pale people, why are we making them popular off of our culture? It's like we are determined to give our culture away, and we need their validation for some reason. And again, I think it's this younger generation that's coming up that wants to be seen and wants to be in with the next upcoming thing, regardless of how detrimental to our culture it is, because you know, those of us in this space and who be on these spaces, period, are in the know, whereas this younger generation just don't care. They really just don't care, and they're not listening, you know, and I don't understand what it's going to take to get them to listen. You know, it's like my older son, I was with him the other day, and I drove all the way out of town just to take them to the store, and he was on his phone the whole time. And I had to tell him a few times, son, I need you to get off of your phone. And he was like, well, why? And I said, when you're with me, get off of your phone and pay attention to real life. You know, you're always, you know, with your face in the internet. And when you're with other humans, I need you to be with other humans and pay attention to your world. And so we got into a conversation of some world events that was going on. And he was like, oh, I didn't know that was going on over there. And I'm like, that's because you're on Discord all of the time. Son, you're 19 years old. You're in college. I need you to move your mind away from the things that you were doing when you were in school. Let's elevate a little bit. And that's remnant of where a lot of this they're not paying attention on in their world. They're not really having the conversations about, I'm not going to say all of them because my son under him is real in tune with, but this particular frustrating me because I need him to, and that's a lot of the paying attention if they don't have any cares to give, you know, so they're going on these shows, they're giving their culture away without really understanding necessarily that that's what they're doing, all because it's the popular thing to do. And so there's that, and I'll land because someone wants to speak.
All right, thank you, Trouble. I am Heat. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Peace, power, blessings, and reparation to the room. I love these rooms, man, because it gives you a time to actually think and, you know, find solutions. There is, I would like to say we have to start recontrolling the narrative, like Tariq did with his documentary that's coming out and the 1B documentary. We have to recontrol the narrative and push forward. You know, what we make is high. What we say is the new end is going to be in. So if we, you know, enforce on the younger generation these documentaries and our teachings what we want to set forward. I think it can be possible to take control of the narrative again. There's this young rapper of our lineage. His name is Lil Russell. I just started listening to some of his music, and it is very captivating because he's speaking on issues of what's going on in our lineage, our history, things of that nature. It gives you, it makes you think more. And actually, when I've been riding to the music, I see people cutting on listening to it a little bit. Some people, you could tell, some get offended by some of the songs because he's kind of blatant in how he says it, but he is respectful in a sense as well. But you just have to recontrol the narrative. His parents built him because he don't want to sign to a record deal. When we say that these people are culture vultures, I mean, it's absolutely right. But they control the industry. We control the culture. With them controlling the industry, that's power because of the dollar. But we control, like I said, we control the culture when it comes to that. So the music that he's pushing, like I want to get back to my point. His parents built him a stage in the backyard to where he could have free admissions people, not free admission, but charge for it. And that's how he got popping and started to buzz out. He brought it to the old school fact of house party vibe. Once you do it that way, I feel like you can control the narrative, the message, and put it back to its proper prosperity. And with that, I let my plane.
All right.
What was the name of the rapper you just said?
Lil Russell. I mean, he has this song called 20 Shots, where, that song, anytime I play it to anyone, it touches you. I mean, just talking about it now and raising the hair on my arms, like, that guy's music is cultivating. He has that song. He has one called Do That Little Dance That You Do, where he talks about how the industry manipulates and controls all the artists and how they dance into a slave deal. Like, he's very deep and poetic. He has a very different range, and I like what he's doing. You can look him up. He's making a lot of headway, but he's going against the industry, and that's what a lot of people, that's why he's not as far as he should be, because he has, like, I want to say approximately about 7-8 albums already. So I mean, he's doing good, and people sing when he goes to these shows. People singing his songs word for word. So I mean, he has to be doing something right, and it's the proper message. He talks about reparations. He talks about all the people that have lost their lives on cop murders and things of that nature. So he's not trying to have a good time. I mean, he has those type of songs, but his main focus is on the lineage and our struggles and trying to get it back to where it should be. And he's a young mind individual. And I land.
Yeah, I just looked him up. My son, one of my sons, he always introduced me to good music, conscious music. JID is one of his favorites. And so I like to be able to bring something to him sometimes. So I'm going to be the cool mom this time. I get to bring you, look, have you heard of Lil Russell? Like, I know what I'm talking about. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Anytime. He's like one of my favorite artists right now. He's really, really bringing it. He's really rocking. And his energy as well as performance. He's really taking it back to, those mood of crowd days where he really, like, I look at him perform a lot on YouTube, and it's like, I like his character. His energy is great. And he's in tune with himself. He knows himself. He knows his worth. Once we get the young minds to listen to more of that music, they will think different. It's going to capture them. It's going to captivate them, because I do music myself, and it captivated me. I've done it. I've been doing music for a long time, and the difference between his and everyone else's is not glorifying living a materialistic life. And that's where we got to get back to. Stop trying to twerk and get back to the real life issues to make us think and prosper and get figure out solutions. That's one of the things that he does do. He talked about, how he helps his mom and stuff, and how they helped him invest in his dreams with building that stage in his backyard. And with that opened up so many more doors for him to allow his dream to actually take off. He doesn't need the labels. He's successful without them. And I think if we can get it to that point to prove our point, because he's doing it, and he talks about it all the time, that's when you're really saying something. Let's not rely on these labels and control our image again.
Absolutely, real talk. Appreciate that. I'm gonna say another thing that we need. I am getting back to Vlad and Pearly Things, and not only them, but the other YouTubers that's on YouTube as well too. What we need is that we need to start having our people, and you have to start having people say something to these actual celebrities about, hey, why aren't you supporting the black platforms? Why are you still going to these? And that's not to say that, hey, we understand that you're an entertainer, you're a business person, you're trying to further your career, you're trying to get as much exposure as possible. But why don't you give some of these black owned platforms, some shine? You most of these major black stars that's going on these platforms and stuff like that, they're bypassing these smaller black platforms and just pretty much going to these bigger white platforms. And like I say, anybody who hasn't had their head examined by now should realize something with the Vlad platform is just not right. I'm curious. They always list people net worth and stuff like that. These celebrities and even these influencers and stuff when they get to a certain level or whatever. Like you say, Trevor, I really wonder what was his net worth, because Vlad has been doing this for a minute. Vlad has a big platform. Vlad, he's got to be probably paying people, I would think, to come out there. I don't know how much or whatever, but I'm assuming that some of these people, some of these entertainers too, and while we're talking about the younger entertainers, there are a whole bunch of older ones in their 40s and 50s on up that run the Vlad's platform as well too. So yeah, he's getting a lot of the 20-year-old rappers and this and that or whatever. He's getting some of the ones that get pinched here and there, whatever, for their lyrics and rap songs and stuff like that. But he's getting a lot of the ones from the 80s and 90s. He's getting some from the early 2000s. He's getting a lot of them to come onto his platforms. He's getting older comedians. He's getting, other influencers. He's getting other YouTube personalities and everything else as well too. So I'm really curious to how Vlad, how he came up. I know he's supposed to be an immigrant Russian or whatever. He made his. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Look that up. I thought it was. It says he's a Ukrainian American worth $5 million.
Okay, Ukrainian, Russian, they still cousins. I mean, I know we playing semantics here, but I mean, let's be honest, they're cousins.
Jewish as well. And if you know anything about the Jews in the music industry, that goes hand in hand.
Okay. R. Bailey said he suspect that Vlad allegedly is a spy. Oh, that wouldn't be like shocking. Now, let's not forget about a few years ago when we had these elections and stuff. People kept talking about, now think about it, on Twitter and Facebook, they kept talking about the Russian bots, and this and that or whatever. But you don't hear any of this talking like entertainment about the Russians this or the Russians that or whatever. So, hey, like I say, one thing about him, that he keeps chaos and confusion going. He's not a stranger to that. He keeps it going. He keeps it circulating and everything else like that. And from what Tariq was saying, and I guess he had to put security on his in his studio one that time he pulled up on Tommy Sotomayor as well too. So hey, it's always something with him. I see we got my girl Aunt Lai up in here. What's up, Aunt Lai? I see Original up in here as well too. So yeah, we just talking about and Aunt Lai, I know earlier you said you didn't know who Pearly Things was. I didn't know who Pearly Things was until a few months ago and stuff like that myself. This was a woman that a lot of people tried to say that she took some of Kevin Samuel's talking points, and you had a lot of black dudes like, whoa, hold on. She didn't take Kevin Samuel's talking points. She was trying to steal some of his stuff, and then, trying to white explain it. But hey, well, what's up, Aunt Lai? I know you were supposed to be going to an event tonight, so I'm glad you was able to stop in for a second. We was having some kind of issues with the space guy, so the space ain't what it probably would have been, because I've had to restart this thing by 4 times. But let me give a shout out to everybody over there on YouTube, guys. Make sure y'all go ahead, click the notifications. Y'all go ahead and share out the broadcast tonight. Definitely like, share, comment, all of that good stuff. Make sure you visit newstoter.com daily. Support us on Cash App for those that can. $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Let me go ahead and get to Aunt Lai. Aunt Lai, what's going on?
Peace, Black Power, and reparations. I do want to say, I'm going to be honest, because I don't want nobody to say I'm talking junk and I don't know who the person is. I've never seen an episode of the Vlad's bullshit. Excuse me. His fake TV thing. I've never seen one. I've seen clips. I saw when Lord Jamar was getting his butt. I saw when the issue with him and my son, the little clips of that. And from what, from the common sense that tells me, anybody who go on his show, it's like a line has been drawn in the sand. And people who still choose to patronize him or go to his show, and he did say that he paid people, because I watched the Breakfast Club thing because I know him and Charlamagne had a beef back in the day. I was hoping they still had it, and Charlamagne got a smart mouth, but he didn't say nothing disrespectful to him, which really pissed me off. Even this whole Tupac thing pissed me. Tupac is my favorite rapper, entertainer. I really honestly pray we cousins, we related by DNA. I love Tupac. He's the greatest thing. You shouldn't wish death on anybody or unalive on anybody, but I really feel like I wish that to the oppressor. And he is one of those, we got to really start understanding what these, to me, it makes no sense on God Green Earth as a black woman who hip-hop culture is black culture. I would take any information from a white devil. There's no way why anybody, for the life of me, to even go to anybody who's a white devil platform to get anything. Why would you go? That's it's just, I don't understand it. That's like Harriet Tubman going to the white man newspaper for her to figure out the Underground Railroad. You don't go to your enemy. You go to your enemy to see what they're doing, but you don't go to them for life lessons. You don't go to them for news. You don't go to them for information, and you don't go to them for entertainment. You know that their entertainment is not to entertain you. It's to hurt you. So people continuously use it, and I don't know if he did anything new because I don't mess with him, but people who continuously you gotta be stupid, I just can't even explain it for you to go to this. Pretty Things, I think I remember something before where y'all was talking about something with that KS dude. But I'm not even sure, but I just feel like as a black people, the world revolves around us. We make what's hot. The culture is what we say it is. And for us to go on their platforms, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And as a comedian, and I see comedians going there, it's some that I really had a lot of respect and admiration for. And he'll say he paid them to go. And he paid them to go because he know that he's going to get views from them. And it's just literally the devil working. I want to see what the devil look like when he working. Just look at a white man. They are living proof of the devil. The description, they come to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what they do. So anybody who get themselves caught up by going to him or whatever, I just feel like that's what you get. You get what you get. You don't get upset, because when you sleep with the enemy, you lay with dogs, you get fleas. But I just feel like there's a point in time that people really need to what are we doing? For real, and the thing is, the people actually go to him for hip hop culture, and he's nothing about hip hop at all. And I don't even know who the No Jumper dude is. I just know that his wife was getting done up by some black dude or whatever. But the fact that black people actually, to me, that is, and the thing is, because the way the culture works and how they try to, white supremacy, try to block us from doing certain things. Even Offset went on that little special ed girl podcast that make her hot, when Funny Marco, and I don't even know who he is, been doing it for the longest, but he get people on his show disrespecting him. And it's just we could literally put us on and literally create a path for just us and really start boxing people out. The celebrities can do it, and what they do is they pay people. Oh, my friend, you're their friend just because you have money. If you was a black person, you wasn't money, they wouldn't have no respect for you. They don't respect you, they respect your dollars, because they want your dollars. They want you to hire them to be their attorneys, to be their managers, to be whatever. But one thing I like about, but we have to start boxing them out. And it's not us, the poor people who don't have any access to them, but the people, but they know. It's a video clip I sent you, DJ. If you could play that clip, how it talks about
how they literally do that on purpose. They take the black people, but they take certain black people and elevate them so then they can. It's a psychological warfare. They'll take a black person, educate and elevate the black person, hypothetically speaking, Clarence Thomas. So then the black people will see this black person in a position of power, and then we respect that black person. But then that black person will turn his face or his allegiance against us because the person who elevated him are them. They gave him the money. They put him in the situation that he's in. And you have to do that with certain amount of black folks so that way their allegiance turn. And it's also working with blackface. You put in certain people in our culture and then they're telling us that we have to listen to these people. And that's what I feel like it was. I think you did a space before, like, is Sexy Red a plant? I feel like these two are plants. Also, what's the name of the other one? The No Jumper. Those are the plants. Those are the ones that's blackface. Because I personally don't feel a white person should speak on anything black at all. Like, you can't even speak. You can't speak on black hair. You can't speak on black culture. If somebody, I don't even think white people should tell black people news. It's a certain kind of privilege, kind of attitude-ish. Like, you're not even in a position to speak on anything black. And the fact that they think that they have a platform, this Vlad dude thought that he could honestly say that he don't think black people should get rep. Like, you got to be out here, dude, for you to even have that kind of, what did you give you the authority to make that call? And it's the mental illness of it all, because they getting out of hand with their BS. And I do blame the people who are in a position of power who told them that they can do these things. Because even when they come out, the London Paul guy who did the boxing match with Floyd Mayweather, he couldn't even stand in the same room with Floyd Mayweather. And the fact that a price was put and Floyd sold himself to put him in a box, and now he is quote unquote respected as a boxer when he's a YouTube person. And it's like, those black people who are in a position of power sell themselves out or put the dollar sign and don't understand some things can't be bought and sold. Not everybody is my fellow Capricorn Muhammad Ali, where you can't buy and sell us, and they know you want to buy and sell the allegiance to us because Logan Paul standing in the arena with Floyd Mayweather. Black people know who Floyd is. He undefeated. Now everybody is looking at who he goes against because he is quote unquote, like some of y'all say, the greatest. But as far as I'm concerned, you disrespect yourself when you even allow yourself to do that. You lower who you are. And black people tend to do that when they get in a position of power. Some of them do it for the money. Most of them do it for the money. But it has to be where, like, you have these artists doing songs with these people. And then you'll get them, what's his name, Justin Bieber, or all of these YT artists doing hits or songs with our artists, like Little Dicky doing a song with Chris Brown. I don't even understand what makes him think that he has the gall, the unmitigated gall to even have a conversation with Chris Brown. And the fact that because they have the money, now they have spilled over into and I just start looking at those people. Now I'm looking at you sideways because now you sleeping with the enemy. So the allegiance that I had, and I tell my kids all the time, like, you can't listen to that in my house. Like, if it ain't hip, like, if it ain't, again, like, I listen to my kids' old school stuff. I can't even have them listen to the new stuff because I don't want them to be prostitutes or nothing. But I just feel like it's a thing with black people where black people are not telling their kids what's right and what's wrong and understanding how this person is a culture vulture or having these conversations, because I'm breaking them down because, like, my son was listening to this dude, Andrew Tate. Now, I don't know who the hell he is, but I started seeing him trending, and I'm telling my son, listening to him, okay, so what are you listening to? What is he saying? So then me and him having a conversation, and me start breaking down really what's going on, because I don't know. Because I don't know who the hell this dude is. So I have to find out. And what my son was, he was a gamer, and a lot of these people in these games, so I'm telling them, like, okay, you can't watch people that don't look like you gaming. And my kid's like, Mama, you racist. Call me what you want to call me. But then it's not even the point where, look, everybody that look like you ain't for you. So now you can't even watch nobody, and I got to hear what they talking about. Because it's this, some I feel so old right now. I feel like my mama. What's this dude who's in this? He's like the #1 YouTuber. He did a mob thing in New York, and now he got this prison jail 24 hours jelly thingy. And I'm just like, as a person who's fighting the system, who literally got my mentally ill nephew incarcerated, and for people not really understanding the system, he's making it cool. And it's just like, damn, like it's really something going on where they're feeding to us this BS, but they're spoon feeding it to us, and they're spoon feeding to our kids, and they're doing it subliminally. And some of them doing it out in the open, like Sexy Red, just letting you know that she the STI queen. Like I ain't never in my life. And it was a debate. Somebody was talking about some other rapper saying that they're not the one, but she proud. And again, I'm a Christian or whatever, but if I ever did have one, I wouldn't be on no radio singing no songs. Like it's just no like coof, no morals, no. And this is what's happened to the kids. It's a video with 3 little girls. These girls are about 5 or 6 years old, dancing on top of the table in the restaurant, and it's just getting out of control. And we really need to have these conversations and start understanding things. And I'm a little long-winded, so I'm gonna dock my vote and fold my chair. But we really got to start understanding what's going on here. And when we have these white faces coming into our culture telling us what's hot, because they tell us what's hot by what they put on their channel, what they put out there, and then they'll have us glorifying. And the thing that what I really want Black people to start understanding, words are very powerful, and Black people always say, that's not our culture, that's not that, because that's white supremacy. Because the majority of Black people, if we watch the award show, I saw more Black people disappointed in that, but that's what white supremacy want. That's what they're putting out there. And we are forced to being told that this is what we want, and that's what's going on. People need to start understanding that. Instead of saying hip-hop is this and hip-hop is that, because now instead of you're critiquing the real enemy, the real person who's controlling the narrative, like the little girl was on there humping on the floor, and they knew who she was, like she said. But we sit there, we'll blame hip-hop. And those of us who know that hip-hop is true and dear to our hearts, know that damn well that it ain't hip-hop. But because of the psychological warfare of it, we'll have us saying, oh, I hate hip-hop now, I hate this, I hate that, but that's not us. So we need to start using the words. We hate the white supremacy infiltration of hip-hop. Don't say you hate, but hip-hop is what we grew up with, but the origination, that can never be hated. And I'm going to dock my own boat and fold my chair.
All right, Aunt Lot, thank you. Shout out to everybody coming up in the space, guys. We was having some audio difficulties early. Had to start the space up a few times, but we got everything rolling now. So shout out to all y'all up in the space. Make sure y'all go ahead and retweet it out. And for people on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and share it as well, too. Go ahead, Trouble. You got it.
I just want to respond back to Aunt Lai real quick. Aunt Lai, I get exactly where you were coming from, because I also have boys who are gamers, and a lot of that BS came from listening to inside of those rooms that they were in as they were playing their games. They linked up, because my kids are in predominantly Black spaces, even in their schooling. Well, they were. And so they never really was around other nations of people, specifically the white nation, until they started playing a lot of games online. And that's when they were in junior high, my oldest 2 boys, I noticed, I say junior high, but it's middle school, whatever. But on Discord, there's a Discord app, and I noticed, because they listening to their stuff on speaker, they were speaking with, some white boys, and I heard them say the N-word a couple of times. So I walked back and, hey, what's going on? I had to check the white boy through, the computer, and they're like, yo, Mom. And I'm like, no. And so I had to explain to them why that's not cool. And then we get into the conversation where I walk in, and now I'm watching you watch a Richard Spencer video, or you're watching, there's that other guy that's always with Candace Owens, and they were watching Candace Owens' video along with the other white guy. And so, I had to ask my son, why are you watching this? Because he's thinking that what the guys are saying, well, Mom, it's kind of true. Well, you don't really have any relationships with white folks and Black folks, so how do you know what he's saying is true? Well, it's funny. So we had to have a whole conversation about that. So I think a lot of that does come from parents needing to pay attention to who it is their kids are listening to, who it is they're talking to. Because I'm nosy as hell. I'm paying attention. I'm listening. If you mess around and leave your computer up, I'm reading messages too. You know, but I'm also the type of parent who I have absolutely no problem, honey, while you sitting at your computer, coming and sitting down right next to you and reading along with you. And I want you to say something to me about I can't sit next to you and read what you're reading, because I'll move you over and grab your mic and go to scrolling. That's how I found out all of them were up in here was cussing just as bad as me. Like, oh, damn. You know, I'm thinking. Like, ooh, y'all cuss good. Oh, homie, you didn't use this cuss word right in the sentence right here. I'm going to need you, if you're going to be online cussing, I'm going to need you to understand how to do it the proper way. You know, make it sound better, because, you know, you kind of used it in the wrong sentence right here. You know, and you need an exclamation. But anyhow, you have to be able to feel comfortable as a parent, being the parent and not the friend. Because a lot of us want to be so cool with our kids, and so, you know, oh, I'm not digging into my kids' business, that we don't, you know, force our way. If you got to feel like you got to force your way into it, you got to be a parent. And I am that parent that will move you out the way, because I want to see what it is that you're doing. You can lock your phone all day long, but see, what I'm going to do is, because I pay that bill, I can always elect not to pay your phone bill. I can elect to take your phone from you until you unlock this bad boy and let me see what's going on in it. Because if you got to lock your phone, if you got to lock your computer, and I don't have any access to it, then you can't use it in my house. Because, baby, I know how to go into the router and slave your computer off of the router, and everybody else will be online, and you be sitting there looking crazy. So you have to have these conversations with your kids, and that's where we're at right now, where you're seeing a lot of these kids, or just young people, period, are giving away the culture, because a lot of their parents, maybe you're not having these conversations with them, because maybe you don't know that these are the things that, and the people who they're listening to. As far as the older heads go, you have to imagine that a lot of these older heads who should know better didn't make the money in their generation that's being generated in this generation now, because we didn't have the online capabilities of yesterday that we do now to be able to maximize the bag. So a lot of them ran through the little bit of money through the bad deals they were making in their industries, and so they need this little couple of dollars that a Vlad or somebody would show. But this is something that I think is kind of good, is that we have this man, and Newstoter posted an article about him earlier today. If you go on Newstoter's Twitter page, or even go on to newstoter.com, you'll see the article about the new, I guess he's not new, he's new to me, but he's a food critic, Keith Lee. And so he, you know, was blowing ATL up right about now. And he's a black man. Now, you know, us growing up, we had certain critics, but they were white critics like Ebert, and I can't even think of the other man's name, but those were movie critics. However, we're in a new generation. And just like this, Keith Lee is giving black restaurants that nobody has ever heard of, or who, you know, people haven't been to or whatnot. He's giving reviews, and he's bringing attention to them. We could do the same thing with the hip hop culture. All it takes is for somebody to go and start exposing and bringing out the true nature of. We can stop the degeneracy that's being played on radio waves if we just had some Keith Lee in the hip hop culture that's exposing the good music, like the brother I Am Heart came on and just dropped some knowledge on the kid L.A. Russell. So it's easy for us to do if we just have the people who are influencers that take the opportunity to go and do this. There's too many of us who are curating news, who are curating our own channels on YouTube that our people could go to, but we need a Keith Lee that could expose that and bring that out, you know. And I kind of think that's a good thing, but you know, I'll land right there.
Thank you, Trouble. Yeah, and that dude, like you was talking about that article, like a lot of people got pissed off with the food critic as well too. So you know how it is. But yeah, we've always And that's the thing, y'all. We're in media. We're in the media age right now. We're in the information age. So all this stuff and all of these channels on YouTube, and that's what I'm talking about with people like DJ Vlad and Pearly Things. Like, we don't have to, it's not like it's to the point where we have to go and to make it, you have to be on TV and everything else. So there's so many different channels that people could go to. And, a lot of let's be for real, a lot of our bigger black stars and stuff like that, and even the ones that did make that money and stuff like that. And I understand it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get that payday, get that payday. At the same time, why not reach out to some of these other platforms that may not be as established or as big as the ones you're going to, and give them some love too, and come on there as well too. I know you may have did a 2-3 part with Vlad. But why not come and whatever you didn't say on Vlad, come here and go to one of the black platforms and let their people come in and hear you and stuff like that. I mean, especially if you got a book out or you got something out, a project you're trying to do or whatever, you can go ahead and raise a profile of that actual YouTube page or website or whatever, while also, getting more eyeballs on your actual the actual thing you're trying to sell or whatever. So, we don't need Vlad. Vlad is in the, and this is, we still don't understand as black people, like, yo, you are the most marketable thing on earth and always have been. Even when the time after slavery and stuff like that, if you look at some of those old products and stuff they had that they were selling to mainstream, they were using black people on it. It's a reason you had the Aunt Your Mama and the Uncle Ben's, and you had the little black dude on the cream of wheat box and all the other stuff like that. It's the reason they had certain soaps and stuff like that. And even though it was an insult, they still was using, oh, yes, this is wash all the black off of you and this and that and stuff like that. They always use black people as a means of selling items and projects and stuff like that. Even when they would talk, well, we don't want to, we want to be able to sell. White people have always bought black stuff. They've always bought things that had a black face on it. No matter how insulting it might be or whatever. So you don't have to go to DJ Vlad. And why are you still going to DJ Vlad? After all of this time, you see exactly what DJ Vlad is about. People go to DJ Vlad and they end up getting charges put on them. I don't understand that part. You're sitting up here and you're spilling your guts to this dude right here. Vlad is sitting up there and he's shaking his head or whatever, because Vlad, whatever pennies he gives you, he's gonna make it back from YouTube dollars. He's gonna make it back, whatever it is, advertisement, whatever. Vlad's gonna make his money back. So if he gives you a few $100s, if he gives you $1,000 or $2,000, he's gonna make that money back. Vlad has millions of people that look at his stuff, so it's not gonna hurt him in the least bit. And yeah, you may get some attention here and there, whatever. But Vlad's got so many different black people. If Vlad, think about it. If everything was what it was, why don't Vlad have as many white people on this platform as he has black people? Why don't he have as many Latinos on this platform as he has black people? Why don't he have as many Asians on this platform as he do black people? If it was all about all this other stuff, Vlad is a Russian, Ukrainian, whatever he is. Because like I said, they're all cousins anyways. The Russians, the Ukrainians, the Polish, all of them are related. Let's be for real. So if it was like that, to the point that, hey, he could go ahead and he could put these people on there and he could make money, why isn't he doing it? Vlad money comes from black culture. Fat Joe money comes from black culture. This chick, Pearly Things, she took parts of a black culture, what she thought from Kevin Samuels and stuff like that, and she remixing and stuff like that. How much it shows you how valuable black culture is. Black culture is more valuable to everybody in the world except black people. Other people value black culture more than black people. Black people say they value it, but they really don't. White folks value black culture. They love black culture. They might not like what it's attached to, but they love it. Hispanics love black culture. Asians love black culture. Everybody loves black culture. They love it more than the actual creators and the actual innovators themselves. Black people, they love black culture when they can see it on TV and they can say, oh yeah, this is what I did or whatever. But they don't guard it. They don't safe lock it like anybody else. These other cultures, they love it. They worship it and always have. And they worship it so much that after a while, once they use it enough, they'll sit up here and say that, you know what? This really ain't black culture. This is our culture. We actually came up with it. We're the ones that actually invented this right here. So everybody in the world loves your culture. They love everything that you do more so than you do. You think you do, you claim you do, but in actuality, you don't. Because if you did, you would be creating all of these other, like I say, we're in the information age right now. We don't need anybody, truthfully. We can create our own YouTubes. We can create our own Facebooks. We can create our own Twitters. We can create any and everything we want because we have the resources available. I don't care how poor we are in this country. We can go ahead and we can create the stuff. We can pull our resources together and absolutely do it. What's stopping us from doing it? And yes, white supremacy is still ruling the world. But what's really stopping us is that we have, from the time of slavery, colonization, everything else, we have a major distrust for one another. We don't believe in each other as a people. We don't. We think that I ain't giving my money to that Negro. He gonna end up stealing it. He gonna end up embezzling. He gonna end up taking it. So that's why we at where we at, and we're gonna stay where we at until we actually learn better. And while we're up here doing what we're doing, when the actual and then get to credit with that microphone documentary that's gonna be dropping soon, because you already got the Olympics coming out, and the Olympics now have put they put breakdancing in the 2024 Olympics. Now they put breakdancing in the 2024 Olympics knowing damn well black people stopped breakdancing around like 85, 86 and stuff like that. Black people weren't breakdancing like that. They was hitting the Cabbage Patch and everything else more so than damn breakdancing. They know black people don't left the breakdancing alone, but they say, you know what? This is another way that we can go ahead and we can get medals to a lot of these white kids and these Asian kids and these Latinos, because they'll get up here and do it or whatever. So now you're going to sit up here, and this is another reason why they shoehorn it in on hip hop and everything else like that. Before you know it, the first person that's going to win a medal in this break dance, and I want you to check what I'm saying. The first people that's going to win medals in this break dancing in 2024 will not be black people. And that's just the stepping stone that they're going to use to go ahead and say, well, you know, we told you it was everybody else. Hell, look, when the Olympics first came out, look who actually won breakdancing. And breakdancing is an element of hip hop. So if they can win a breakdancing gold medal, then that lets you know that everybody created hip hop. And it's not a black thing. It's an everybody thing. It's our culture. It's the world's culture. So you can see through some of the BS, black people. Come on. Let me go ahead and get to Cleopatra. Go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight? You there, Cleopatra? Let me give Cleopatra 1 second. Cleopatra Bell, are you there?
Oh, yes, I am. I'm there. I'm here. Excuse me. I just wanted to make a quick comment.
No problem. Go ahead.
This is very insightful, but I wanted to say the reason why these people are able to do this, not just DJ Vlad or Pearly Things, but black immigrants, people who say some of the nastiest things about our community, is because people within the community with big voices like the NAACP and the Urban League do not push back. And I know some people will say, well, you know, they're obsolete and they're this and that. Well, I wouldn't take on that attitude, because outside of this, you know, Haitians have their groups, Nigerians, Ghanaians, all of them have their groups. So with the NAACP and the Urban League and some other organizations, I wish and hope in the future that those organizations would turn back to their original purpose. Because imagine the president of the NAACP or they would reach out to that or reach out to the president of Russia. This guy would be in some serious trouble. He would pipe down. He would shut down. Even Pearly Things, wherever she come from, because white people aren't just white. They are German, they're Russian, you know, they're all, you know, they're Ukrainian, they're, you know, and if you reached out to their home countries, I feel like something would happen and they would slow what they're doing. So I just wanted to put that out there. And you know, you can go through my timeline, and I've said to the NAACP and the Urban League, the presidents, you guys need to resign. But on a serious note, I wish somewhere in the near future that those organizations can go back to their original purpose, and those leadership positions will be lineage-based, and they will be voted in. The presidency, you have a two-term period up to 8 years, and after that, that baton needs to be passed to someone else. Thank you.
All right, thank you. No problem. I see we got a original up here. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, peace, black power, and reparation. Yeah, my niece, Aunt Lai, in trouble. They were so right, with everything that they said. But let me say this to you, Cleopatra. See, the NAACP is not a black organization. It is a perception management spy organization that was designed to impede the procreation and progress of black folks. It wasn't found. See, at the founding of the NAACP, it was mostly people of the Jewish belief. And Ida B. Wells was at the founding of the NAACP as well. And she only wanted to advocate for us. She got kicked out and replaced with with the white woman. So the NAACP has never, and even because I've talked to someone who worked with.
Hey, you there, Original? Hey, Original, are you there? Hey, can you hear me, Original? Because the sound just went. Hey, Trouble, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Not this space again. Lord have mercy. I don't know what the hell been going on with the space tonight.
To reduce us prevent us from moving forward. I don't see, even like back in the 90s when C. Dolores Tucker was going after the entertainment industry because of all the negative garbage that was being put out there about black people, and particularly black women. The NAACP did not stand with her. Oh, no, they did not. And so if they wanted to, they could. But see, they had already taken that, the decision had already been made that they was going to do whatever, that the NAACP was going to look the other way and let anyone say anything or do anything to us and not say anything. And that's what they are still doing today, because it was just the other week, this guy, whatever his name, who's the president of the NAACP now, I can't remember exactly what it was, but something was going on with him where he, I can't even think of what it was. If anybody knows, just let me know. But yeah, and so people started having to put him on blast because of what he was doing. Yes, he's a black person. He's black in skin only. That's it. Because there's no way you can be a real black person and allow these things to go on. And let me say this, Newstoter. You talked about the Koreans and the Asians or whatever. I remember when I lived in California, I ran into so many Spanish-speaking people. Like this one Spanish-speaking guy, he had, I forget which catalog it was. It was this whole blues catalog. See, everybody keeps saying that they come up with stuff. Like, that's why I am so happy that this microphone check is about to drop. Because, see, too many people keep saying that they did something and they didn't. Well, we all just we ain't all getting along because that don't work for us. No. But I ran into so many people, just like this one Korean guy. I was working a part-time job at Circuit City. And I would bring in, CDs and stuff. And this one Korean guy would always see me bringing in stuff like, Otis Redding, Tyrone Davis, and Joe Simon, and a few others. He said, oh, no. He said, I love that music. And like you said, Newstoter, everybody loves our culture, but they don't love us. And we have to point out, and as Trouble was saying, we have to make sure that the children are being taught correctly making sure that, like what she does, she sit down and look and see what her children are doing and make sure that they're getting the correct information. Because see, what the white people are doing is that, again, this is what they always do. They always go after the children. That has been their mode. Again, like I had shared this before, there's an area in Ghana called Larty. When they had overtook the people in Ghana, and so they was forcing them to go to these churches, and so the people were just going through the motion. And so once they saw the people were not adhering to that religion and stuff, they went after the children. And then once they got the children indoctrinated, that's why we are where we are today. It's because of that indoctrination. And I think we as a people have to begin to decide, who are we going to support? If we are seeing these people going on these white platforms, we kind of have to make, because you check it out. How many white folks do you see coming on black platforms to get their message out? Knowing that more than likely they do have black supporters, but you don't see them coming on black platforms to have a dialogue with anybody, because they know they don't have to, because they know that a lot of black folks going to show up anyway. So we have to start making the people that go on the black. See, I didn't know about these. I had seen some of that stuff on that old Vlad guy, but that little white tramp, I've never seen any of her stuff. But we have to start making them uncomfortable by going there. It's like, well, even though if you're getting paid, well, if you want support from us, then if you go on this or this, we're not coming to support your next venture. That's how it's going to be. And sometimes we have to push that narrative and make sure that if you are going to go on there, you better make sure that you go on a black outlet first. Because if you don't, then we're gonna begin to shut you down. Because this is just insane. And like, I'm gonna go and look up the little rapper Lil Russell, and the brother was sharing about him. I'm gonna go look him up and listen to see what he has to say. Because the issue is we have to listen to the children and make sure that they are when we make a critique of them, that they are understanding and that we got that interaction with them. And so I just want to say that, people just understand that we are the culture of the world, and everybody knows it, except for a lot of us. I ain't gonna say us, except for some of us don't know that, and they think by going on and being with these other groups. I'm gonna tell you, and Trouble, what you said about your son, I think I shared this, but I have a relative now. He's a retired engineer. And so after they moved a couple of times, and so the first two children, they black, because where he was working at the time, they lived around black folks. So the last job he got, they moved up. They live up in like North Fulton County, and so he thought that just because his son played with other little black children, but see. But they was hanging around the white kids. And so when the youngest son got married, I'm about to throw up here, he married a white girl. So that's how, because sometimes when you think your child is being educated and they're okay, you got to look at the other young people around them and making sure that they're not being influenced by them. Because see, being accepted by white people is still strong with a lot of black folks. And sometimes when the parents are working and doing this, that, and got everything going on, they tend not to really focus in on the children. But all the other children, they married black. He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "I don't know what." He told me, "I don't know what happened with that." He said, "I ain't happy with it." And I forget. I think his son is like a chemist or something, and so this white girl, she locked down with the good one, because he makes good money as well. And so, but yeah, we have to stay in tune with the children, because we cannot allow the enemy to siphon off our best and brightest and mess up our culture. And I'm gonna land with that.
Okay, I just want to see by a show of hands up in the space right here, and I want you to put your thumb up if you actually support black businesses, black platforms. By a show of hands in the space, for anybody up in the space, I know you guys can hear me. Just give me a thumbs up if you support black business, black platforms. And I said a number of thumbs up. I said a bunch of people like, hey, I ain't listening to him. You sound like the old white dude on the old original In the Heat of the Night. I ain't serving him. Like, So you got to get everybody's thumbs up. That's the thing. We got to get everybody. We got to get to the point. Like I say, if Vlad, and I said that before, if Vlad can have nothing but black people on this platform, his entire platform is built off of black people, black celebrities, black stars, black artists, and he can make a living for himself. We as black people, we got to be able to do the same thing. We're not to that point. We're not to that level yet. You know, it just amazes me that once again, ask yourself this, with the exception of maybe Oprah Winfrey, how many black people can you think that has a platform and their entire, you know what I'm saying? The base of it is white people, and they've been able to sustain and make a living off of it, with the exception of Oprah. And let's be for real, when Oprah first came out, for those of us that's old enough, when Oprah first came out, I was just a little kid myself. But when Oprah first came out, Oprah's platform was totally different. You know, it was nothing like what you would see in the 90s. But when Oprah first came out, she had all kind of different topics. She talked about race and this and that or whatever. It totally changed, totally did a 180. But Oprah is one of the few black people that I could think of, and then there may be a few exceptions here, but she's the only one I can think that got to a certain level that her entire, and even then she still had black celebrities and she had black people on there and stuff like that. But she's one of the few that I could think that you say, okay, well, hey, she totally made her platform off of just having white people on here. And even like I say, even that's not fully accurate either, because even Oprah always, even in the 90s and stuff, even though she catered to white women. Don't get me wrong, she catered to a white audience and she catered to white women. But even then, it wasn't completely 100% white. Vlad's platform is completely 100% black. You know, he may throw a person of a different person outside of black here or there, but Vlad's platform is completely black. His money comes from black people. His whole money comes off of black culture. Totally. 100%. Now, even Pearly Things and things like that, she has white people on there. Her platform, she caters to a white supremacy talking point or whatever, this and that or whatever. So, you know, even though she took her ideas from a black man, Kevin Samuels, and she remixed it and everything else like that, she uses it to go ahead and ingratiate herself with other suspected white supremacists as well, too. So at least give her credit for that. The other one don't. Vlad straight up is like, hey, I'm gonna ride these Negroes for everything I can get. You know, I'm riding with them. Everything that I got comes from them. The music I listen to comes from them. The slang, the vernacular, it all comes from them. The artists on here, the comedians, I don't care what it is, all of them black. You don't see Vlad platform don't come from other people that look like him. It comes from 100% black people. So name a black person that, in comparison of Vlad, their platform is 100% white. All their money comes from white people. Everything they have on there, it's just white this, white that, white that, white that. Yeah, I know you got Candace Owens and you got some of these ultra conservatives and things like that. But in terms of what Vlad does in entertainment and stuff like that, you can't think of one that's comparable. Like I said, the only closest thing that we could think, and of course, Oprah is much bigger than Vlad. She would be the closest thing. And even then, Oprah still had black people on her platform, even though it was catering to the white women and her audience was 90% white and stuff like that. She still had sisters out there too, but it changed or whatever. You can't think of nothing comparable to what Vlad's got. Think of another YouTube channel like Vlad. You know, well, you got a black host, and all the singers are white that come on this platform. All the comedians are white. All of the influencers are white, and it's a black dude that's the host of it. All he talks about is pop music, and he's got all of the pop stars on there. Or he's got all of the white hip hop stars on there. He's got all the white comedians on there. He's got all of the big white acts that's comparable to Shaka Khan, except they white from the 70s and 80s and stuff. Like, you can't think of it. You can't even think of it. So we got to sit up here and we got to be realistic. If this dude can do it, why can't we do it? Not only can we do it, we can do it better than him. He's just borrowing the page. All he said, okay, well, I'm gonna get these black people on here. And I'm gonna make me some money. I'm gonna get these black people on here. Because they grow up admiring the culture. They may not like the actual people that created the culture. They can't stomach them or can't stand them. But damn if they don't love the actual culture itself. And like I say, and when black people start to actually love their own culture and actually say, hey, you know what? We're going to use this culture to benefit us and our people the same way everybody else. When they move into our neighborhoods, they get these stores, they get these businesses, they get everything else like that. When we're going to be just like them, we're going to be selfish. We're going to think about us and us first and foremost, and everybody else, I'll be damn second. Then we'll be better off as a people. I am Heat. I know you look like you want to say something. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I was about to say, a lot of what happens is, they easily infiltrate, like Adam 22. He kind of does a correlation thing with what Pearly Thing does, where they'll use islanders or people who look like us to push false narratives. We have to combat that. I heard somebody saying something about shunning these people when they go on those platforms. We the king of roasting. We start roasting these people and making them feel bad for even showing up on those platforms, disparaging them from even going up there. I think that kind of nips it in the bud. A lot of times we'll create something and we'll just easily sell it off. Like, Russell Simmons with Def Jam, or the guy who owned BET sold that off, and then when they was trying to sell it back to Tyler Perry, I guess, they could see all the writing that we were saying on Twitter or Instagram and stuff, saying it's about to be black owned again or whatever, and then they reneged. They didn't want to sell it to them. They moved in a funny way. They practice group economics and shunning us out in a very subtle way. Like they don't make it obvious, but they do it. And once we grab control of the narrative again, we just have to feed them with a long spoon and do the same thing as they've done to us. Once we get it back in our control, what we controlling the image and what we're trying to put it in the direction it needs to go back into.
Real talk. And I see R. Belly, he said black people made Oprah famous, and I'm not doubting that. When she came on, I'm just saying the only person I could think of, and she got to a level that, hey, she's like, hey, she could just bring in, basically white stars. And even like I say, and that even had to correct that, because even at her height, when she was bringing in white stars, she still was bringing in black stars. Like, she still would have Tina Turner on there. She still would have Beyonce. She still would have this person, that person, whatever. So it was never totally 100%. This dude here is pretty much all black. Yeah, he'll bring in a white person here and a Hispanic there, whatever, George Lopez or somebody. But let's be for real. His platform is 100% black. So I definitely agree with you, RB. Like I say, when Oprah first came on, yeah, her show was totally different or whatever. I didn't really watch it because, like I said, I was a kid. But, I had family members, they watching this stuff. And, it was a complete 180. It completely changed or whatever. And she started, going more mainstream and things of that nature. And she was able to go ahead, once she got her platform built, she was able to go more, mainstream, more this way or whatever. So, she was able to do that. This dude built it up from scratch, and he went there. I'll give you another example that we don't think about. Look at Fox. When Fox first originated back in the late 80s, mid late 80s and stuff like that, Fox, they had a number of white shows on there. They had Family Matters, not Family Matters, but Married with Children. They had a couple other shows and stuff, like I think the Tracy Ullman show. But Fox really got to the level that it needed to get to with shows like In Living Color, Living Single, Martin. It was the black shows that really, really helped bring Fox and take Fox to a whole nother level. And how did Fox think these black shows? Oh, this is how they thank them. They came in, they meddled, they messed with the actual working strategies that they had. They had to come in there, and if you They want to change characters around. They want to change this around. They want to keep messing with things to the point that they mess with In Living Color. And you had, you know what I'm saying? They was trying to take the ability to say how the show was going to go from the Wayners and stuff like that. They end up messing with them. They end up messing with Living Single. They messed with a number of black shows. They kept bothering the black shows and stuff like that. Even though these black shows were some of their highest rated shows, brought in a whole nother demographic that these other stations did not have. You know, these black shows helped to make Fox into what Fox was. As soon as Fox ended up signing that damn football contract in the early 90s or whatever, everything started to change. When they signed that NFL contract with the NFL, the show games, and they got that money that was already in the bank, Fox basically was telling these black shows to kiss they behind or whatever. The same black shows that end up making them and allowing them to go ahead and branch off and do different things, they gave them their behind to kiss and told them to F off. So again,
and the other one, UPN, they did the same thing.
Yeah, UP. Who was it? Was it UPN or was it a WPN or whatever the hell it was? But it
was a WB, and then there was another one, I think they called UPN or something like that, but it was definitely the WB because they had a lot of black shows on there too. And as soon as they got popular, they put them black shows to the side and elevated the white ones.
Yes, ma'am.
It was UPN because, see, I think it was CBS. They said they made a huge mistake because, see, that show, Moesha was on UPN, and they was like, they had shot that show initially. I think it was to CBS.
It was both of them. It was both of them original. She right though. It was WPN and it was UPN.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But CBS said they regretted that they didn't sign on Moesha because that show became very big. So yeah, that, like you said, if they can do it with our culture, we can do it way better.
Yeah, because think about it. You had on some of those shows, you had the Wayne Brothers show, you had Sister, you had Moesha, you had the Parenthood, you had Girlfriends on one of those stations. You had a number of those shows on there that was very popular shows. Think about Moesha, for example. Moesha, and this is the reason that whether you like her or not, you have to give Cheryl Lee Ralph her credit. They end up on Moesha going in there saying, you know what, Moesha, you got this good middle class family, stand up dad, great stepmom, you know, pretty good kids for the most part. Well, you know, then they bring a Brandy brother Ray J on there. His character, I can't think of what his name was, but you know, he's supposed to be the actual nephew. He's supposed to be Brandy and them cousin. Well, you come to find out that, hey, he's not actually Brandy and them cousin. He's their half brother, Dorian. He's their half brother that good old dad, Uncle Frank, ended up having an affair with. The aunt was raising him. The sister was raising him as her child. And actually, he was actually their child. And he brought him in there without the actual family knowing. And it slipped out. And they found out, oh, goodness, this ain't actually our cousin. This is our half brother. And dad, you've been knowing this since you had an affair on mom, who's dead now. You had an affair. You hid this other child from him. Not only did you hide him, you end up bringing him in here and trying to pass him off as our cousin when actually he's our damn brother. You know, only things like that. You know, they do little slick stuff like that. You end up killing the father, John Amos, off of Good Times because he got tired of the buffoonery to a certain degree. You know, you end up changing this stuff, even on the movie Rocky, the Creed movie. And we know boxers aren't saints and stuff like that. We know boxers have a lot of women. They have kids out of wedlock or whatever. But nonetheless, you had Apollo Creed, supposed to be the greatest heavyweight of all time. Felicia Rashad character on there, she was married to him. Well, you know, Apollo has an outside child, and they got to bring this. She had to raise a child and stuff after Apollo is dead. I mean, just all kind of ridiculous stuff. You know, all kind of stuff.
You remember that show, Rock with Charles Dutton?
Oh yeah, they kept bothering him too. Fox kept bothering because he didn't want to have his show depicted as a certain way. Rock was a blue collar garbage man. Wife Eleanor was a nurse in Baltimore in a not so nice neighborhood, but nonetheless, Rock was a stand up man or whatever. And Fox wanted to go ahead and they want to come in there and they want to control it. Because in their eyes, you know, they know what's best for black people. They know how black people should be perceived by other people in this country. So they have an idea with their white writers exactly how they should write for black people, how black people's lives should be. So yeah, they came in there. Rock was a good show, and they ended up coming in there and it got to the point that Charles Dutton was like, "Hey man, the hell with it, you know, I'm out of here." So they constantly, for everything that the black people did to build that network up and make it into a major, major force. Because let's be for real, when Fox first came out, Fox was fourth fiddle by a long shot. A lot of older black people, a lot of older people, period, didn't even pay Fox no mind. So Fox ended up getting a lot of the actual younger people, the 12 to 30-year-old demographics. They end up coming in there and cleaning up and racking up. And like I say, once they got their money up, they got their money straight. Once the black people helped put them in position, once they helped secure that actual, they got enough money, they was able to outbid ABC and NBC for the actual NFL football deal that they got, that they still got to this day. I think in 94, 95, they end up getting football. Their whole idea, their whole premise, the whole way that they treated their black shows totally changed overnight. They was like, okay, well, we got from you Negroes what we needed to get. You know, you done helped us get to where we at. And you're right, R. Bailey. He says Fox has become one of the most anti-black news network. Pure Peckerwoods to the fullest. Pure Peckerwoods to the fullest. That news. I mean, they can't even hide the anti-blackness they have. All of the money black people done made you. Now, how many black shows on Fox now? I used to have Fox black shows in prime time on Fox. You know, how many black shows on Fox now? When you think about it, you know. So this is what I'm saying. Building up, we've seen this time and time again. Building up other people's platforms has never really been beneficial to us. To a certain degree, it may help us get our foot in the door to a certain degree, but it's never really been beneficial. Vlad building up his platform is beneficial for one person, that's Vlad. It ain't beneficial to black people as a whole. Yeah, you may get a few trinkets here and there, but it really ain't really beneficial, to be real. I Am Heat, go ahead and unmute your mic. Shout out to everybody coming up in the space as well.
When you said that about the shows, it just made me remember how they mimicked and stole, like, just made identical, reciprocated those shows and just made white people in the same difference. Like, for instance, you had Living Single. To combat Living Single, they created Friends. You had Sister with Tia and Tamara. And then to combat that, you had It Takes Two with the Ocean Twins. So it's just like little things that they kind of do. Like, you can see they'll substitute and subsidize. They'll bite off one and try to redo it in their image, and you know, it's crazy. It's baffling. I seen this image of young Bill Cosby talking about all the things that black people had created and pioneered, and all of this stuff that they're not in the history books. And it was just it was an eye opener for me about how much that they really whitewashed and that we don't know. Like, every day you can actually learn something new about the past that's actually true at this time, since we're in the time of information. And, you know, I just thought that was very unpeculiar how they will take a show and just recycle it and put them people's in perspectives. But one thing that I always do realize, that something always happens with that in the input. Like, it always fails. Like, the record sales right now, they're dwindling right now. They're not. At one point, the record sales was inclining and going up. Now they're having a problem selling, you know, music at this point, and it's because it lost the soul and it lost that feeling. And you know, once you lose the actual creator and the soul of it, it's just null and void.
Real talk. And I'm glad you mentioned music too. And getting back to Fox, I don't know if y'all remember, but Michael Jackson's album, the one that had Black or White, the one that had Remember the Times, the one that had In the Closet and stuff like that. Michael Jackson, if you guys remember in the early 90s, it had to be 91, 92. Those videos were premiering, worldwide videos were premiering on Fox. You know, Fox Fox is one of the first ones that actually bring in those, premiere actual music videos on major network. And they was premiering Michael Jackson, the biggest artist in the world. Well, Fox also, people forget too, and that's why I say he's really written out of history in terms of rap or whatever. People, because it got to the point in the 90s, and this is black people dissing, oh, he whack, he this, he that, or whatever. The Hammer, Too Legit to Quit video was a world premiere on Fox as well too. Now later on, you would start having people like Garth Brooks and stuff like that. Garth Brooks was huge. He sold a lot of country music, a lot of albums and stuff. But Michael Jackson was the first one that I could think of world premiere. The world would stop and watch. Michael put out an album he wasn't putting out an album every year, every two. Michael went from he went from 79 to 83 to 87 and stuff like that. The 91, it was like every 4 or 5 years Michael Jackson putting out an album. It ain't gonna be no once a year or every other year or even 3. No, we waiting 4 or 5 years. So Michael dropping the back. They had one for Black or White. They had one for Remember the Times. They had one for Jam, like I say, on top of the Too Legit to Quit album. So when I say that black people was bringing in the dollars and black people was making this platform, which was a nobody, which was far and away the fourth platform on TV or whatever, it was black people. It not only from the sitcoms to actually also, the actual Michael Jackson was the biggest star in the world. And they got his videos. His videos are debuting. They're not debuting on MTV or VH1. They debuting on Fox. Prime time, 8 o'clock at nighttime. The entire world's got your attention on Fox. You don't, if to watch MTV, you got to have cable. But you ain't have to have cable to watch Fox. So you get more eyeballs on it. Same with the Hammer, Fox. And as soon as they went ahead, and shout out to Michael Jackson too, because Michael Jackson was one of the first major people to actually put Egypt and show it depicted as black, and he did that prime time as well too, all black. Eddie was a pharaoh. Amon was the queen. Magic Johnson was one of the bearers or whatever. All-star cast and everything else like that. So shout out to Michael. He made ancient Egypt totally black and whatnot. So give him a shout out on that. Prime time. And that's what I'm saying. This is what black people were doing. This is the impact that black people had on networks and stuff like that. Same with them. If you want to be honest, same with them. NBC. NBC ratings was in the crapper until Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show came on. People forget about that as well too. For all this nonsense people talking about, NBC was getting waxed by CBS and ABC, and then things totally turned around with the Cosby Show. People forget all about that and whatnot. So yeah, a lot of these platforms have just, made their money, made their bones, got their bearings underneath them off of black talent, only to go ahead and screw black talent around when they got a chance. Let me give a shout out real quick to 400. Thank you for your donation on Cash App as well too. Appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get to if anybody else that wants to donate on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. They have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. Let me go ahead and get the original. And anybody else that wants to speak tonight as well, too. We're talking about DJ Vlad and we're talking about Pearly Things, but I also want to actually mention and show the actual culture vultures that it's not also just people as well too. Some of these actual platforms, some of these actual networks, some of these actual stations and stuff like that too, they have the culture vulture mindset, especially when it comes to black culture and everything as well too. So shout out to everybody that's up in the space tonight as well too. Original, go ahead, you got it.
Hey, Newstoter, you backed up something I said earlier when I told you about how in Ghana, after the people were overthrown, they was forcing these people to go to church, and the adults were just going through the motion, and then once they saw the adults wasn't adhering to it, they went after the children. And what you said about Fox, how the older black people didn't pay Fox any attention, what did they do? They targeted the children. And that, again, so this is why it's very important that we have these conversations with our young people and let them know that it is it is not, excuse me, it's not racist if you decide to do your own. Don't go into this, oh, we all one, because I tell you, it was something that, did you see the video where the brother was saying he's a truck driver, and he said he met this 89-year-old white boy, and somehow they had a conversation, and the white boy told him that he was a former firefighter, but he said when he and other white firemen would go to put out a fire in a black neighborhood, and if they heard or saw black people, inside, they would go in like they would going to save them, and they would just allow them to die. And when I said one of the comments I made, I said that this is what I mean. This is what I've been telling people. I said there are no good white people in this universe, and of course some white persons are trying to talk about, well, we need to start loving each other. We can't trust y'all to love us. We've already loved y'all, and we got nothing back. So we're not giving that to you any longer. We're no longer going to allow you to leech off of us. See, they always want to try to come back and say, well, we just need to love one another. And no. And the other part I want to mention to you, Newstoter, Esther Rowe, I heard her say this. She said that with Good Times, they wanted her to be a single black mother, and she had to fight to get John Amos as the father on there. And this is how a lot of these images that are out there. And remember when I said that Mordecai Manuel Noah, he was of the Jewish belief. He was a staunch white supremacist. He staunchly supported slavery, and he is the one that invented the minstrels, depicting black people in a negative manner. He's the one that did that. And so it's like I tell people, grab your chillums, as the old folks say, grab your chillums and start having, study sessions with them, letting them know exactly the evil that they are interacting with. We cannot, because if we don't grab these children and start putting our own impressions on their mind, another generation will be lost. And we have to let them know that no, this is not evil, because show them how other people, other demographics, they they're wagging around themselves. They don't look, they look at our culture and say, oh, damn, that's good. It's just like when, you see, there were some videos on social media where some of these Spanish-speaking people were saying that, said that when they was hanging out with the black people doing hip-hop back in the day, said their own people saying, why you over there listening to that jungle music? See, they didn't like it until it got hot. Then they want to claim that they invented the 50-50. No, you didn't. You didn't do anything. That's a black creation, and it's going to stay a black creation. And that's why I'm so happy that Tyreek is doing this microphone check, and so everybody can be checked. Because there was one person online trying to say, "Oh no, Latinos did," and I found that little video where this elder Puerto Rican told this younger Puerto Rican. He said, "No." When the younger one said that we invented hip, he said, "No, you didn't." He said African Americans invented hip hop. He said, "No, we didn't." He said, "No, he said the African American did that," and he's sitting right there looking stupid. You see, we have to make sure that the children that's coming behind us, that they are good. We have to make sure that they understand exactly who these people are. They have never been, and they are not our friend, and they never will be. And we have to make sure that they understand the agents that assist them in stealing our culture, and make sure that they are exposed. So I just want to share that. It's just that, but like you said, when Fox went after the children, that's what they always do. They always go after the young people, because and there's always a little friction for the most part between the the younger generation and the older generation. Because even when I was coming up, I mean, like I said, I was younger. Although I loved it, but I thought some of the blues, I said, oh, that's the old timey stuff. That's for the old. But now you can't get me off the damn blues, okay? That's what I grew up around, listening to blues, listening to my uncle and others play blues and everything. And so, because they were older than me, I thought it was old time music. But, hell, a lot of them did. And it still sounds good, and it still sounds good today. Show me a group of people whereby their music is loved by all, and but yet they didn't get any credit for it. There's no one else out there that has had that to happen to them. Everybody pulled from us. I remember this. What's that guy name? What's the white boy name? Rod Stewart. I forget which black artist was trying to sound, because they push that you want to sound like the white folks, and but they push that. But yet he said when he saw some black artists doing it, he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He said, "You're messing my thing up. I'm always pulling from you all. You all need to go back to what you was doing before." And that happened. So people, we the best thing on this planet, and don't let anyone tell you differently. If anyone that says that, you already know they are an enemy to black folks and nothing else. But I'm gonna land with that. But I just had to share that and put that out there.
Appreciate that, Original. Let me give a shout out to my girl, No Taxation, too. Thank you, No Tax, for your contribution on Cash App. Getting back to what you was talking about with the character with Esther Roll, and Esther Roll is from Florida. Shout out to Esther Roll. She has a streak. She was born in Florida. I believe Esther Roll may be of Bahamian descent, but nonetheless, she was born in the state of Florida. Down in Broward County in Pompano, there is an avenue named after her name, Esther Roll Avenue. Esther Roll said, because people forget that Good Times was actually a spinoff of Maude, which was the actual spinoff of All in the Family. Now on Maude, Esther Roll was married to James on there. I think James may have been a firefighter or something like that, a fireman or whatever. So for the whole idea for them to decide to go ahead, and when she's actually getting the show, because people forget Esther Roll was actually the star of Good Times. Good Times was basically her show. And John Amos' character James was such a powerful character that I guess you could say that they it became equals or whatever. But it was Good Times actually for Esther Roll. But the fact of the matter that they went ahead and they wanted to go ahead and make her a single mother, because that's what they felt was the thing back then. They wanted to go ahead and make her a single mother, and Esther Roll fought against it. She fought against it. She said, "No, that's going to be my husband there," and that's the way it was. And Esther Roll left Good Times. We think about John Amos as well too, because he didn't like the depiction of the character on there. But Esther Roll also left at one time on there, also on Good Times. People forget that as well too. So she actually left that show. Now, as a kid, I wasn't, when Good Times was out. I missed Good Times, but I saw the reruns and stuff like that. And Good Times was a good show, but John Amos had an issue with what he felt it wasn't serious enough. Some of the actual, I guess depictions of the show as well too. Getting back to what you were saying, Original, when I was talking about Fox, and I was saying how they targeted the kids, and I meant to say they targeted black kids and white kids, because I went to school with some white kids, and when they saw In Living Color and they saw Martin, when they came to school, these white kids would be imitating those characters and stuff like that. They would be imitating the Sinead character. They would be imitating the actual Wanda character that and for y'all can remember Living Color, Jamie Foxx played the character Wanda, where he also dressed up as a woman or whatever, but nonetheless, they would imitate that character. Hey, they would do all of that stuff like that as well too. So they watched them black shows. They watched those shows. Them white kids, they watched those shows. They knew those characters the same way the white kids listen to rap music and they knew all the music and all the songs and stuff like that. They watched, they listened. So Fox was targeting young America. That's who they went after. That was their core. They were trying to get the teenagers. They were trying to get from from 13 to 30 demographic, and they successfully got it. And black people helped them successfully get that demographic as well too. So I was just wanting to point that out. That yeah, they definitely was going after the black kids, but they were going after kids in general. They were going after the young population. They wanted the young adults, they wanted the teenagers, and they wanted the young adults. They wanted the teenagers, and they wanted that 25 to 30 demographic, and they got it. Go ahead, Original.
Yeah, Newstoter, I just wanted to share this with you because there was this lady. She was a domestic worker, and I remember hearing her talk one time. This white guy that she worked for, and she said, "Hell, he got more damn Aretha Franklin records than I do." They have always loved our culture, and but yeah, it just something where that elevator don't go out, or they're missing the elevator don't go all the way to the top, but they're missing a few steps in the escalator. I mean, they are just some strange ass people that I just don't find myself wanting to be around. Because the next thing you know, you find yourself around them. Hell, you may find yourself, you might end up dead because they some sick and crazy people. And I know some black people that say, well, how are you gonna just make a blanket statement about a group of people? I said, well, first I would like for you to go study my history. And I want you to look at what they have done to people who look like me. And if you can't understand that, then there isn't any hope for you as well. And so then they start looking, yeah, but you still, in this case, I will make a special exception. That's why I don't fool with these fools, because they are crazy as hell. And I'm going to land with that.
All right. Appreciate that, Original. No taxation. How you doing tonight? Go ahead and unmute your mic. And for everybody.
You preached that one. You preached it. That was so nice what you said, especially about Michael Jackson. People don't understand. The only time you can stop the airwaves for the world to listen to you is to be the president of the United States of America. That's the kind of power Michael Jackson had. He had the same kind of control. Y'all don't understand. If you wasn't there, you don't understand what I'm saying. Michael Jackson's stuff is going to air at 8 p.m. on Friday night on whatever station y'all was talking about, Fox. And everybody in America and across the world was trying to get to it. Now, that's why he's gone. But you preached that, and then Original came back right behind you and preached that thing again. But I came up here to answer a question. Who is Kai, whoever this Kai person is, who is that?
Kai, he's that young cat. I was going to put him in the space, and then I said, well, I'm going to leave him out the space. He's a young cat. I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago, a month or so ago, he had this video game giveaway out there in New York, and it ended up inciting a riot, basically. So he's a young YouTuber or whatever, and he's pretty influential, and he's having this whole skit about people in jail and doing this jail thing or whatever. And a lot of people thought that it was kind of was kind of cheaping or whatever, but I said, you know what, he's a young cat, so I'm gonna leave him up out of it. I didn't know a whole bunch. I know my youngest boy, he looks at him some or whatever, so I said, well, I'm gonna leave him up out of it. I said, I don't know a whole bunch about him. So I said, well, let me go ahead and leave him out there, and let me stick to DJ Vlad and Pearly Things.
Is he black?
Yeah, he's black. He's black.
He's not one of us black. He's something else black.
I don't, not that much. I don't know. Because I heard some people say he was Caribbean, and some people say he was a Black American. So I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. We better watch it, and watch it very carefully, because Hollywood is trying to erase us completely, and they can do it too. You know how the young man came up there and said to you, "Hey to everybody in the room, sorry for just going into the conversation like ain't nobody else here but me, but I hope everybody is well." The young man came up there on your stage and he said he's learned more about history, thought that the true facts of history and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to tell you something, y'all. If we ain't careful, if we don't get these white folks straight, they're going to do it again. And there'll be somebody else 50 years from now saying, I didn't know all of that about black people, what we was doing. They told us they was white. Well, it'll probably be some Mexican or Hispanic or something, you know. That's what the next one will be. So I hope y'all are paying attention. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a campaign now to support this guy doing this Bass Reeves thing. And not just because I have seen Corsicana that Isaiah Washington did, and not because I consider Isaiah Washington a personal friend of mine, but because it's right to do the right thing. They made that boy that did King, which I slept through the whole movie of King. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. I've never seen King. Twice they done took me to the movie theater to show me King, and as soon as I got up in there, I went to sleep. How about that? He's boring. So anyway, Isaiah has been on this wagon for a long time. He was on that wagon by himself, talking about he wants to keep his property and how black people should look. You know, Sidney Poitier fathered a whole lot of black folks in Hollywood out there have been fighting that same thing. And now it's gotten to the point where not only are we not, we can't fight them if we ain't there. How about that? He's going to have a whole movie about Bass Reeves. And the way, if you haven't seen Corsicana, you need to see it to see what I'm trying to tell you. The way Isaiah Washington portrayed Bass Reeves as a stand-up black man that was respected by lawmen, which he was. They got this boy over here looking like a damn runaway slave. See? And he's not one of us. So, yeah, he'll lay down for it. Sure will. And get a pocket full of money. Damn sure will. See? That's what they're doing now. So I hope y'all are paying attention. Don't go watch that shit that man put out. That Nigerian man. I can't think. I don't know his name anyway. I would never go see it. But anyway, y'all need to tell everybody. Don't feed into that. Because that's erasure as well. And I'm going to leave it there.
Okay, and no taxation. Everybody on, I see Mary and I see R. Bailey on YouTube is saying that the cat Kai, that he is Caribbean. I wasn't sure if he was or he wasn't. And see, I got him mixed up with one of these other characters that my son was watching. This cat named Abdul or something. This black dude, I think he's African. And I told my son to stop watching this dude here because this dude was doing all kind of cooning stuff on there and talk about white folks should be allowed to call us the N-word. And I'm like, man, don't watch this ugly dude on here, man. Like, don't. Like, so I had got the two mixed up or whatever, and that's why I was going to do it. I thought that Kai was actually him, but it wasn't. So that's why I actually took him up out of the actual topic for the night. But yeah, they're saying, I know he had this I don't know if it was a PlayStation giveaway back in December or something, or a couple months ago, whenever it was, not December, what I'm talking about, but December coming up, but a few months ago. And like it caused all kind of damage up there in New York and stuff like that. And I can't remember if he got arrested or not either, but it was a while ago. He's a pretty big, I guess, streamer and all this other stuff, game or whatever. But everybody's saying that he is Caribbean. I wasn't sure. I thought he might be Caribbean, but I wasn't sure. But I just said, well, let me take him out to space. I say, because I know my son was watching those YouTube channels, but he said he didn't really watch that much because I was going to lean on him to get some information. But he's like, no, it was the other cat. And I'm like, what's the other cat name? You talk about Abdul. I said, that's the one that be sitting up there making all of this, all these crazy looking faces and all of this, saying all this cooning stuff on there about black people need to do this and do that. Man, don't watch this dude here. But I wasn't sure, no taxation. So I just went ahead and I said, well, let me go ahead and get this cat up out the space. I say, because I know Pearly Things, the white supremacist she hang around with, and DJ Vlad, I know it just people come on his platform and end up getting arrested and stuff. So I like, let me go ahead and stick to these two here.
Well, let me say this last thing, and I'm gonna get off the stage. That heavy set black guy that have short blonde hair, and then he has a beard, supposed to be a comedian. You know what I'm talking about. Lowski, is that his name?
Lowski?
I don't know. That could be somebody else. But anyway, he has short, he's a heavy set dude, and he does these videos and all that kind of stuff. And I noticed that he had, you remember that African that was dancing crazy in the restaurant, taking a piece of chicken or putting it in his other and bucking his eyes and all that old shit? Him?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I that he has him on a video. So that's somebody else that we need to not pay attention to. Because if he's going to allow that on his stage, because that man, whoever he is, has a platform. He has a lot of followers. And if that's what you're going to do, black man, I can't get it. I can't get down with that. And that's the way we have to be from this point forward. Let them white folks go over there. He'll still get paid. Them white folks will go over there and look at that mess. And that's the way we have to do it. Who did we boycott today? How about that? I'm going to leave it there. Thanks, John.
I think Mary said his name is Drewski or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, some kind of ski.
All right. Thank you. No taxation. Let me go ahead and get to Mr. Iconic. Mr. Iconic, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, what's going on? It's been a while. So, Kais and I, and the rest of these things that look like us, they're all tethers. They're all YouTube tethers. They all ride our coattails 24/7. This man is literally allowing white people to say the N-word.
So that was him then. It was Kai that was allowing it.
That was Kai. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of them. It's actually a whole bunch of them that actually do that. He's not the only one. They do that for YouTube, YouTube views and shit. Like he had a thing on Twitch. Where he was playing Harry Potter, he was coaxing the white kids to say the N-words. Like, yeah, you can say it. I'm allowing you to say it. So yeah, that's Kais and I and the rest of his little goon squad.
So I should have went in on this dude tonight. I couldn't I was asking my son. He didn't know. No, that's Abdul. I'm like, Abdul. Like, what the hell is Abdul? Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to start watching your little channels a little bit more because he talk about. I don't hardly watch Kai, but he's like, no, that's Abdul. I'm like, okay, well, I said, well, I'll go ahead and take Kai off tonight because I was gonna have him be my little expert to feed me some information. But he talk about he don't hardly watch his channel or whatever, so he wasn't sure. So I said, okay, well, let me go ahead. But
YouTube don't really allow us to get big. Like Corey Kenshin, he's an FBA, and when he hit 1 million followers, it took him about like 3 to 6 months to give him his plat. So
I can believe it.
Yeah, they don't really allow us to get that big. When they find out who we are, it's a wrap.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start checking some of these ones here sitting up here that's allowing people to go ahead and telling them to go ahead and call them the N-word and this and that or whatever. Yeah, like I say, had I known that was Buddy for certain, I would have definitely went in because a lot of these cats here, like I'm gonna be honest, Pearly Things, it was about 5-6 months ago that I found out who the hell Pearly Things was. I didn't know about her till I saw Jason Black and O'Shea Duke Jackson talking about her as well. So I didn't know who the hell Pearly Things was either. And the Kai Cat, the only reason I know him from the whole fiasco that went up there with the video game giveaway that just end up, people end up trashing it and end up getting arrested and this and that or whatever. Because like I say, I know my son, and I thought that was the one that he was actually looking at, this cat here, because I knew the one he was looking at, whoever he was looking at, I knew they do some serious magpie, and so I wanted to go ahead and add him up in here. And like I said, had I known exactly this was this cat here, I myself would have done the research and would have went in on him a little bit myself tonight. So
listen, all these people, all these YouTubers, like I said, you're looking at, you're seeing live, they're all tethers. That's all they are. They're not us in any respect whatsoever. They could be half-breeds, possibly, but majority of them, they're not us. In fact, and sometimes they'll get on other channels like Rumble and badmouth us.
Well, I appreciate that, Mr. Iconic or whatever. Definitely thank you for that information. What I say, like I say, everybody's saying he's this and that. And our Caribbean brothers, because we got some Caribbean brothers that's down, they need to go ahead and check them. They need to go ahead and break them off straight up, like they say back in the day. Put them in their damn place.
Listen, you have these Caribbeans. They actually had a quick little channel. They had like a quick little channel where they was actually saying how we don't have a culture. This is on YouTube too. So we don't have a culture. we get everything from them. These are young Caribbeans talking about this. If I ever find a video and see it again, I'll send it to you. Check it out.
Real talk. Real talk, real talk. Like I say, we need to find the ones that understand that's nonsense, and they need to go ahead and check their people. Put them in place. Like, nah, we we know better than this. What you saying is nonsense. I grew up with some Caribbeans that would check their ass straight up. Would check them and let them know that, hey, you may think that you speak the King's English and all this other nonsense you talking about, but at the end of the day, you a goddamn nigga. Pardon my French. Just like the rest of these other black people here and stuff like that. See, I grew up with some that would have went in them straight up and would have put them in their place and let them know. It's a lot that I grew up with that wouldn't have, that would have agreed, but it's a good deal of them that was like, nah, we don't play these type of games. And unfortunately, too many of them have gotten away from that. Because like I say, I've known some that I grew up with that wouldn't even be having all this kind of nonsense right here. They would have straightened them straight up. But unfortunately, like you said, you got young ones out here who don't know a damn thing, ain't did a damn thing, and they gonna sit up here and talk about culture and don't know the first thing about Black American culture because you hadn't even been properly educated, yet you benefiting off of Black American culture. So, yeah, I wish I had known for a fact that was this dude tonight here because I sure would have got on him. Like I wasn't sure, and I asked my son, and he talked about he didn't know. He talked about Abdul. I'm like, Abdul.
Hey, listen. The night's still young. You can still add him in.
Yeah, I'll save him for another time. We'll come. I'm sure if he's been that much of a magpie, he's not done yet. He's young too. So when you're young, and especially this dude got a major platform, he's getting money and stuff like that. We all know when you're young and you're a man or a young male, you feel invincible too. You feel like, hey, that you're gonna live forever and everything else. And when people pass away, that's not gonna happen to you. Somehow you'll miss it. That's not gonna be you or whatever. But he's old enough. He'll get his. That like I say, there's another time coming that we'll put him on blast because I want to be better prepared or whatever. So I would have did my homework or whatever a little bit more. But we'll get to him. I mean, he's not done.
He's making fun of like black people going to jail right now. So
yeah, I understand that part. Yeah, I know he's doing a little jail skits and stuff like that. I've heard about that's going on exactly too. So yeah, and then there've been some people talking about that as well. The little jail skits. Like I said, don't worry. One thing about this platform, we'll get you. If we don't get you today or tomorrow, we'll eventually get you. So we'll put the bullseye on old boy. Let me get to Love I Am. What's going on? How you doing tonight?
Hey, Newstoter, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good.
That's good. Yeah, I wanted to say that I do believe DJ Vlad and Pearly Things are culture vultures. And the relationship that these two in particular have with our community is very parasitic and toxic. One thing that frustrates me about DJ Vlad in particular is how he it almost seems like he's being forced on our community because I don't understand who these people are that continue to go and transact with him. And these people, I don't know, like they make me wonder, is it part of a contract where they have to agree to do an interview with him? Like, why won't they just tell him to go? I don't get it. And it's sending a message to the younger generation that having these people in and out of our culture is cool. There's another woman that you could have added to this too. That Bobby girl that does interviews.
Oh yeah, Bobby.
These people are like parasites. Like there's nothing to be gained from transacting with them. They wouldn't have any visibility if it wasn't for their connectedness to our community. They don't have any notable or distinguishable talent or skill set. They're just around, they're there, and it's giving Parasite, we're the host vibe. And Pearly Things,
she kind of went under the radar because she wasn't openly embraced by Black Americans, and she was actually embraced by the Africans in Europe, and they kind of put her on. But I noticed that like Black American YouTube channels, they weren't just openly embracing of her, because these people, they're repulsive to me. Like, I really don't understand why we don't send them on their way. I don't like them, and it frustrates me, this dynamic that we have with these people. I wish that we have to be vigilant about gatekeeping our culture. Like, when I'm in these spaces, like when I came in here, I was finishing the last of my baths, sending my kids to bed, my Black American children. And I sometimes get uncomfortable when I think about how, if we're not very deliberate and intentional about gatekeeping our culture, how my children are going to be competing with these other kids for their own history, and the narrative behind our people. And so I am intentional about teaching my children Black American, and what our contribution has been to humanity. But I just feel like when we maintain relationships with people who are parasitic, who devalue us, it just makes me feel very uncomfortable about the future of our lineage, because right now they've taken Negro. It's like they've almost effectively erased us as a people group, and then we contribute to that erasure by allowing DJ Vlad and Pearly Things to come close to us. I want our people to regard ourselves as a fine quality, rare mineral, or something that can't be renewed, non-renewable resource, that like, we need to be regarding ourselves as an endangered species, that we need to be very intentional about keeping other people away, that just being around their life type could kill us off. Like, that's how we need to be thinking about this thing. We just need to limit others' access to us, access to our intellect, access to our talents, access to our spirituality. We need to limit access. I don't even have conversations with these people. I have and maintain surface level interactions with these other groups. They're not getting in-depth conversations from me unless it's me telling them a thing and I am controlling the conversational, like the narrative behind it. But other than that, I'm not having exchanges with these other groups. I don't trust them. They're not to be trusted. And we just need to have self-love. We need to love ourselves more than we value being around these other people. Hope that I'm not sounding like I probably sound obnoxious as hell, to be honest. I literally just don't like these two people. And I just see us having the ability to be in full control of limiting their access to us, and then us not taking authority to do that. And it frustrates me.
All right. Thank you, sister. I appreciate it. We're going to let Original be the last speaker for the night. We're going to go and wrap it up, guys. This is the third space we had tonight. The other two, just the audio and the connection was bad, so we had to start up 3 different spaces. So shout out to all you guys who was able to come up in this space. Original, I'm going to let you get it in real quick, and then we're going to end up ending this space for the night.
All right, let me make this real quick. I want to say this, what No Taxation said about that movie King. Me maybe it's a generational thing, but Sister, I ain't saw that movie either. I didn't go to the theater. It just, I think from a spiritual perspective, something just told, even though at that time, I was kind of still into the Pan-African garbage, which don't mean anything. But because someone had asked me, I said, well, you know, he's black. You know, I was into the flat blackness, as Black Alpha says. But the issue is that these people, they know what they're doing. They're being used to sabotage us because, see, let's remember, it was like a little news report from the BBC when they said that you know, Afrobeats had Black American influence. Oh my goodness! All the Africans on the continent started going berserk, saying that Afrobeats don't. I mean, that's our culture. Y'all trying to steal our culture. And come to find out, see, I got that 1969 session where Fela came to Los Angeles, and he met with these black musicians. And when he came there, he was playing Black American jazz. But they said, we expected something more authentic from you, being that you straight up from the continent. And so they had these sessions. He learned from them, and when he came here, his music was called Afro Beat. Then when he left, it was called Afro Beats with an S. And so they've always done that. It's like it's us against the world, and we have to especially let our children know it is okay to be different. Just because some of these foods look like you have to be careful of.
Uh-oh. What happened to the sound now? All righty. Let's get the sound back. We lost audio real quick.
They are nothing but agents. Here, you got this one old crazy tether. Somebody posted a video, and she's trying to say, oh, to get rid of racism, just don't talk about it. I mean, the way they treated in these countries, whether it be Africa or the Caribbean, you know, they're not treated. None of them are treated well, but yet they will come over here and they're glad to be here, and then they'll join in with the white supremacists to attack us. If that's not brainwashing, I don't know what is. Or they just happy to do it, thinking that they're gonna be okay. And what they fail to understand, if they're able to reach us to a certain point, they're next. And I'll land with that.
All right. Thank you, Original. Appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap things up for the night, guys. We've been going for almost 3 hours. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hold on. I see somebody up here real quick. I'm trying to come up here. Not sure who. Marco, I'll go ahead and let you get in there for a minute. So we're getting ready to close the space out. You had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, hello. Newstoter, you may not know me, but my name is Marco. Hello, everyone. Miss Taxation, she probably knows me. DJ definitely knows me, but all those that don't know, I'm Marco. Hope everybody's doing like me, black and highly favored. But in terms of you guys talking about DJ Vlad, I'm not sure who this other gentleman is. Pearly Things.
She's a woman, but go ahead.
Oh, woman. Okay.
Looks like him.
Let me see. Let me look it up. Let me see. Oh yeah, the woman with the Offset interview. Let me say this. As far as DJ Vlad goes, I've been stopped listening. I've been stopped being a fan of his since he basically lied on Minister Louis Farrakhan and misquoted him, then tried to use that as an opportunity to get an interview out of him. There's a certain way to go about things. Like, you can't say that you are a fan of the Nation of Islam, then you purposefully misquote the minister and then try to use that as an opportunity to get an interview. That's how things go. But in terms of him being a culture vulture, 100%, and like, I'm not just saying that I'm not just calling him a culture vulture because of the fact. I'm calling him a culture vulture because of the arrogance. You said that you agree that white people are guests in hip hop, but you don't act like a guest. You act more so as a pest. And then, just in certain interviews where he acts like his videos aren't being used as evidence, or he doesn't ask the same kind of questions that a cop would ask somebody. Like, you're kind of full of shit on that part, because I understand you're a journalist, but it's like you're playing on. It's like you make a joke out of the whole being a Fed thing, because people are looking at you as if you are the Fed. And I understand your video for you to help bring Tupac to justice, which I think is kind of suspicious on not on his part, but on the law's part. But yeah, man, like whatever. Brad can do him whatever, but me personally, I haven't been a fan of his since he disrespected the minister like that, and he never really apologized. But I'll just land my plane right there, and I'm gonna say to everybody else, stay black, and Hollywood, or y'all stay strong and stay positive, and don't never let the weight of this world get you down. Peace.
All right, peace. Thank you, Marco. Appreciate that. On that note, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to end this space for the night. So I'm appreciative of everybody who came in after all the technical issues we had early. Was able to eventually get it straightened out. So, guys, thank you. Have a good weekend. We appreciate you as always. And check us out on Monday. We should be back once again with another space, another podcast. So peace and thank you to everybody, all the speakers, the listeners, and thank you to the people that donated on Cash App as well, too. Peace. Y'all have a good weekend. We'll see you come Monday. Let me give a shout out to all our people on YouTube as well, too, guys. Peace. We'll see you guys Monday, 8:10 p.m. So have a good weekend. Peace.